me miero wanu ti kere me gwoko lobo ng'echere pod peti borwa dushu acho diro no kom ti kom oha ite bar ja borwa.
This public engagement, I think, is one of the best ways of having our people informed about their involvement and their rights and the protection of land as the most valuable asset that they have.
Ena koboni kit kodi ginna beru ni aman ni chuba na beru ni aman uberi yora ber menenu ni onu yore me gwako ginna pira tek borwa to twalo luoni lobo.
But also there are several fights, especially within urban settings, and I think Lira City is one of the most affected, where land is still contested, and the manner in which the land gets registered at times pose a lot of questions and suspicion.
Rubu melobo tie to twal. Da en Lira wani adong uberu kutere yora meo tie choyo kede lobo ubodo kela barwi.
Converting land into freehold, even from investors who just come yesterday, tomorrow, they want their land converted. The land they have acquired is immediately converted, and there's a lot of corruption in that kind of activity from those who are responsible with land management.
Na jo mepe obedo unywali melobni. Kau binu gini koma wora onu gini yore medonyo iro meloko kita me unywali melobo miru nuong kere warega melobo. Do enti akoye ni le mora eno lucha miru benuti.
And that is a big disservice to the nation, because how are we going to develop if we cannot even generate revenue from the land? Even from those who are supposed to generate revenue, somebody intends to pocket that revenue at once, and then the country suffers.
Karamando timere ununingo kajo amiru neni chiente agamente oraye gindoho odoho odie kere riu mando timere ununing.
The district land offices, I think there's a lot we demand. The district, the city land offices, you have a huge responsibility to gain confidence of the people who seek services.
Enokoni wang jo do tiumo kom jo me district land board ke the city land board wang wati komwu gen wati komwu endo kohotie
Issuing double titles,
me yo title ario
doing a survey in a very unprofessional way, causing land conflict.
kita donga pimu kere lobo pera do niang toke rubi rushu nyobo dushi.
This is giving us, the RDCs and the RCCs, a lot of work to settle land issues that we are not even supposed to be handling.
Gini do me yo tishwa do hotek acho tishwa duong tutwa.
So I pray today's meeting brings some transformation into the management of land at the district levels.
Atamo nini no metini ni bedong ni no meloko jami kere yore meti.
The ministry is doing its best.
Gamente gire malo tia yele ko metaho mere dushu mete mutigi.
But at our level, at the district level, there are a lot of challenges that will make the effort of the government and the line ministry useless.
Kumdo wane pinkan omi udong gupa jocha dushu kwogi ochwercha ochwer do nono.
I also want, as I conclude, the permanent secretary to handle the issue of land that still exists between Lira City and Lira District, and must be speedily handled. 5 years down the road, there's fight here and there because of unclear demarcation between land management in Lira district and Lira city, yet both district and city have autonomous land boards.
Endo akoboni telo tola do chu wi wao kodushu ubero telo tola ti akina district melira ke the city melira do ena kwayo permanent secretary ni kare dong ingo e konyo watu mi do homo habitual.
At the end of the day, it is these people who seek services who suffer.
Kadong liesha luen lumena dong ko.
I thank you very much, and I wish all of us very good deliberation, and I believe at the end of the day, we shall walk away when we understand fully the management of land and the new innovation, the technological innovation that the Ministry of Land is bringing to ease our management of land. I say this for God and my country.
Thank you, thank you. Let's give a big round of applause for our RCC, who has finally said that we should be in a position to discuss openly and we find a lasting solution to land issues in this region. May I take this honor now to request my colleagues who work for Lira Ministry Zonal Office. We should be using 10 minutes. You summarize what you have, what service your departments are trading, the services they are trading in. How do you want the community to support you to do it well? So, sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have here 5 departments, and I would request that the presentations is made department by department. Some of these people you have interacted with, but you don't know that, oh, this is a surveyor, this is a planner, this is a valuer. All of them come to you, and if also you have a question for them, you can reserve it at the point we need to make the comments and issues, we shall raise them. So may I request the first department, you introduce members of your team. Some of them have one-headed department, some of them have many people. But before they come, I just want to summarize that this is Uganda, made in Lira. They are people of all walks of life. Out of 24 of us, only 3 of us come from this region. So that is how cosmopolitan our nature is. We are coming from eastern, western, southern, central, and here. So we appreciate them. Thank you so much. So may we have the first department? And coming is the registration, who is coming to introduce herself and our team and what services. Keep having a pen and a paper in case you want something that you want to ask. Time will come. You're most welcome.
Thank you. You're all welcome to Lira Emzo. Good afternoon. I'm called Athaire Patience Marcella. I'm the Registrar of Titles, Lira Emzo, as I'm waiting for my team to make their way here. I'd like to introduce the services we offer, most of which have already been talked about. We have freeholds, we have leaseholds, we have continuous transactions like mortgages, transfers, letters of administration, caveats, and many others. We also handle complaints on land matters. We also handle court proceedings and dispute resolution. Sometimes we do mediation on request, and maybe if you feel there is a land matter where our presence is required, you can request for it. Eunice?
Sorry, nena tia metu ni ngatoro konya. Ati peko metien, pola jo mingi angini ati kere peko metien. And that we're looking at our cosmopolitan nature, wow me one tika one at decan. So kind of una better ping, no chairman.
Okay, let me introduce my team. Starting with Madame Eunice. She's our front desk officer, the one who receives you as soon as you enter the EMZO. She's going to introduce herself and what she does.
Protocol all observed. My name is Oburu Eunice. I'm the receptionist. I do the preliminary checks of all the transactions which they bring at the EMZO. I see what is right. If all the transactions, all the documents they are brought to the Ministry Zonal office are right, I receive them using our receiving stamp, and I register all the transactions. The different transactions, I register all of them. That is what actually I do. Thank you.
Eno ko nye nyunoni Eunice Oburu. En gamu jo ya nyim kasha kaituno dauna macha yimi yini neno eno. Tijen tek oberu gamu waber kaituno nukan. Eno ken oberu neno I papara wuni kelu wunu kajami duchiti kakare. Eka te chwala nyimbo ngata me ruaho dong inyonyo wame computer teketie. Briefly eno ko weno.
Thank you. The next officer is our intake officer. And intake is what in law we refer to as lodgement. Lodgement is a legal process, and most times by the time we lodge your documents, it means they meet the basic legal criteria. And on lodgement is when we give the instrument number. So he's going to tell us briefly about himself and what he does.
All the protocol observed. I'm Wemba as Cleophas, a data entry clerk, Lira EMZO. Basically what I do, after the receptionist has received the files, I do the intake, like I enter the files into the system. I enter files into the system. So when after that, files are pushed to the next office, and that's the scanning clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is our IT officer. Is going to translate and also go ahead to introduce himself.
Okay. Manu bero wemba bazi Cleophas. Eno bero ka nyahani ucheki unoni jami dijiti kakare. Ena na yeruaho tishu dushu i computer wa. Terung chaku word kita meko ni neno kita workere. For you. An nyao nuoni udon Simon Peter. Abero ngata me lo kope nyonyo computer kan. Kere generator. Tichu kena na tiu bero me yokon bot joni dushu kape homoti computer. Choyo report yung edwera de hadek dwera bishel kere moha report inoti anyutu jami du jamanoti kere kan ame mor mieru perwen atamo lebla opa amede dong. I'm called Hodongo Simon Peter. I'm the ICT officer here in charge of all the computers and the generator. My work is to support the staff in ICT issues, to run the backup of the system, to report to Kampala any issues that we cannot resolve from here. Another thing I do is to make sure this system we use is running 24/7. It's not supposed to stop even for a minute, but at times we may have issues, but the system is supposed to run 24/7. And another one is to train new users on what is supposed to be done here. I think with the ICT, that is it. That's why I was moving up and down, because when you started arriving here, the weather affected us a lot. I was so unsettled because the system was up and down. But now we are okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Next is Umaru. Umar is our dispatch clerk. Most of you have not heard about dispatch. Dispatch is when the transaction is complete and we need to tie it up in our system and give you your copy. So he'll introduce himself and what he does.
Thank you, Registrar. All protocol observed. I'm called Malongo Sema Umar, dispatch clerk, Lira Emzo. All transactions in this Emzo ends with me. As the registrar has said, when a transaction is completed, I receive it from my senior registrar and dispatch or issue it to the client. For example, when the title is completed, that title is recorded or registered with me, and the owner is supposed to pick from me. The other task on the system, I do delivery. That is completed transactions, and even sometimes there are transactions which are delivered, but when they are still running, like to say, instruction to survey. Those are the duties which I perform here at the EMZO. Thank you.
Enukoni nyoberu Uma Sema Malongo tichenti utiari ya peretek me achiel ti dushado tumikan bei chie metunu boru tibuko ini signing ni title lana gamo pienti jo kena bino gamo title suwotegi amenuo pemio den gam so kai binu in national ID ni ana mi eto kape pe mi me ario kaindo mi ko yo hokan i system i computer wa mi renang wocho kunu ni etie homeyo polu ibe nongo message chim chao keno ko bi binigam title liti ready chao ko bi is niti ready chao keno ko bi giriti deferred so kaeno utemo ginori computer ginu chwalo message boru unite bine nongo atie tawakare.
Thank you. There are three people who are missing from this list for one reason or another. We have a librarian or records officer. We have our scanning clerk who is not feeling well, and we also have the office administrator who is on leave. In addition, we also have our senior transport officer, Ambrose. You can wave to the people. And this constitutes the support team for all the different departments. The people here are the heads of that other departments that our head of office talked about, and I'm just going to briefly highlight what they do, and they'll greet you and introduce themselves. Starting with Madame Christine here represents the Chief Government Valuer. Now we know that Chief Government Valuer works beyond the EMZO. They are involved in all cases where we need valuation of either land or property. So when it comes to court cases and you have a dispute on value, you need to write to the government valuer to give you the actual value. So their role doesn't limit to only land. It includes property. It includes all forum beyond the EMZO. In case you need their services, and for all government departments, it is mandatory that when the value of anything is in dispute, or when you need to rely on that value, you need to have the Chief Government Valuer's report on record. So this is the person who is representing the Chief Government Valuer. She can greet you.
Good afternoon. I'm called Christine Alom. Under the Lira Ministry Zonal Office, we mainly do valuation for stamp duty, and that is assessment for tax purposes. When it comes to transfer, you will need to pay the stamp duty. This stamp duty is 1.5% of the market value. Then we also do valuation for premium and ground rent, and the premium is 10% of the market value, and ground rent is 0.5 of the market value. Thank you.
man neno luonu chen Ambrose en aye lo gi worwa gino kikenda dun worri kan en aye lo Christian Alum en timo valuation chunga kaka chief government valuer en neno wel jami wel lobo pegi hi lobo kiken tigi peti ka emzo kiken tikan kede gino kena dun value mere tie kagino neno wele to rwake system gina mono luoni stamp duty uberu choro ma ini choro bod gamente megamente supporting lobo wani ene so ti jama dek ti transfer of title winyunu mana be transfer of title value mere ti achieli tonera beach percentere pi loba ini kelo kakino no value mere ka no ni value melo woni ti million piera boro nyuti ini chulo kan million achieli la hario aya gino kana gido timo bedo premium and ground rent kwena wanu chung yeni ka bedo ma Lira city council ukobo bedo ground rent eto gino dong party yeba auto chung bedo premium so premium mo charging 10% eka ground rent to charging 0.5% ngoen timo en boy.
Thank you. Next is the head of the physical planning unit. I think many of you have interfaced with him. I will leave him to talk about his unit.
All protocol observed. My name is Ayala Joseph, Senior Fiscal Planner, Ministry of Lands. I am seated. Most of you have interacted with me and my office. Fiscal planning, as you are aware, the whole country is a planning area. That means all form of development, all form of tender must be subjected to fiscal planning approval. At the EMSO, I supervise other fiscal planning committee at the lower level. I also do compliance check. We at fiscal planning, we ensure all the applications are approved at a different structure, either at the Sub-County Fiscal Planning Committee, District Fiscal Planning Committee, or City Fiscal Planning Committee. I check to ensure the land use are complying with the plan or with the fiscal planning guidelines or with the PDP, Fiscal Development Plan. My office also coordinates fiscal planning with the center. We do reporting, and I also build capacity of the local fiscal planning committee. Thank you.
En ko binye ubero Ayala Joseph ubero dana melo kopi kom goyo plan kana mo rumwa en ku bere kere joy pinga mo no area land committee ginati kere fiscal plan gi district kere fiscal plan wandang fiscal plan me district to chwaro bod jo emzo kan so en ku be kere joy malo men ni jamini tushu tia word kakare I physical planning apati kube kere jo imalo enang neno me kube kere jo kan kere jo ame tia touch jo ame tol me physical planning ti utwe utiengi en miyo gi support unyo miyo gi tam kita miyo team kere boy.
Thank you, Peter. Next is the survey department. We have two sub-departments under survey. We have the surveyor and the cartographer. Luckily, they are all here. So I'm going to hand over to the senior staff surveyor to address you.
Protocol observed. I greet you all in the Lord's name. In our department, we basically do a few things. One is issuance of instructions to survey on the applications that the board has approved and they have forwarded to us. After the surveys have been done, we receive the survey reports and process them for compliance. And lastly, we produce maps out of those survey reports. Those maps, you call them deed plans. And also we offer post-secondary services. Basically, if you want a map for a particular area, we can give you that at a fee. And then, yeah, basically that's what we do. And still surveys, we also have in the mapping, and cartographer is here.
I'm confused. I am going to be to some of you. Morgan Timatek, Tibal Mala District Miwa, Uloni request for instruction to survey. Kwa yawa meme yugi, me surveyors wa private surveyors, Balo, me wopi mulobo. Me ario, gain generating, wa rikuloni blueprint, amanuloni did plan. So did plan ka peti yi title, pero miti yi title, bank tang pero mi, lonor. Kerogin no kene, amegin temo, map. I think that is the most difficult work here in this office. So I will punch in the coordinates. Afterwards, the map will come. If you are encroaching on a wetland, water body, a forest, that transaction will not proceed. So it's a very key person here. Most of their roles, the senior staff surveyor told us already. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter, Sam, and Romano. Now we also have Department of Land Administration, and Rose is going to talk about it.
Thank you, Madam Patience. Good afternoon, everyone. I observe protocol. My name is Bako Rose Ezabuku. I'm the Principal Land Officer, Lira Zonal Office. Our duties, or my duty, in land administration are quite many, among which, of course, we do supervisor roles for the land management institutions. We do sensitization. And of course, we do a lot of compliance check when the files are brought here at the MZO. I work with all these teams. Files come to the front desk, and that's where at first the compliance check of the minutes are checked. Then we also do inspection on rare occasions where need be, just for purpose of compliance check. And we also check the forms, because we have been having at times challenges from the forms that come from the area land committees, like the Form 4, Form 10, Form 23, for purpose of registration for those different land tenure systems. We check whether the area land committees have complied with it. That's why at times you find that when we even get a variation of a signature, we tend to defer. And in land administration, my office is the last one to approve any transaction to go for registration. That is the long and short I can give for now. Thank you.
And Okoni Nye Ross Bako, but our senior lands officer, Principal Lands Management Officer. I am heading that department. Ame Ginodushu Alubeke Choyo Lobokan. Beobotgi Totemugun only verification. Menen no kajami duchuti kakare. Cha had a front desk. Etu no kutia checking the minutes. Pien in all the district land boards at Uganda can. Tigi name ulwani minutes. Amegin meruchwale wakan. So ka form binu meronena application form ka nyeti minute. Icha ke ron binu ko machi let no nye peti minutes. So ka utunu bora me peti minutes amohoko ngawano luoni forgery. Gino kene amen doc timo. Enu ko woni I department mereni ame peru uberu point na magiki meneno ni jami dushu tikakare. T form sama yai about your area land committee. T form 4 application form 23 amende by signing form 10 amo uloni notice. Kedok T form okay form 4 23 10. So forms no pere tek total. Kom ginati tiri romo we ko form mi pe wota nyim wun o jo wa keke le wunu application kan ti jamari o pere tek. Neni signatures ni ke ma neighbors tie du si form dang tia rorom pen ka pe tia rorom o ko bi ngatoro o temo dwalo me awotere kede telephone number ni mero betie ka telephone number ni pe na me chimi pe assisting wani pe achoru giri piene number ni no ena ya message binu ke bori me ko bingo ati atime. So join nen ane ko bi join it you iginu loni conveyor belt. Iromo penyuni kar system uni conveyor belt. Iron binu itenongo physical planner petty office, on your surveyor pe. Now, teacher here kasha, both Cleophas. Te word both intake. Te binu both physical planner. Physical planner te choro bo land officer. Land officer te choro. Both surveyor. Mun system machon. Eta mani kaya both physical planner, both surveyor, me ginu luoni instruction to survey. Me itwer me was surveying lobo. Kau inde duo go luoni job record jacket. Unyo chora me lobo cha. Entende no katia be te chwalo bot cartographer. Cartographer te punching coordinator nena company. Te wona generating deed plan. Utodu go bot senior staff surveyor te approving. Eka yitega mo deed plan nena meti signed by senior staff surveyor kede ngo kede cartographer. Te dong bino bota megoni. Point magiki review and approve registration. Eno teneni jami duchika kare dang dong kao karo dot ora petia bear and dano meluzira. Kado yai bore te word bot dana did kainene. Final point, registration of documents, printing, signing and sealing title. Dispatch Dr. Gamodong.
Thank you, Peter. We have other officers who are deployed in the field. Our front security officer, Christopher, you can wave. And our hygiene officer, Winnie, you can also wave. Okay. Christopher is the first person you see, and he helps us a lot. This team of ours, as you've seen, majority of these people are seniors. This is a metropolitan team. We come from all corners of Uganda. Each person in this team has wide experience in the field that they are in. Most of these people are experts in their areas. So we give the best advice. We beg you to trust us, because the issue we have mainly is trust. We beg you to trust us that we have the expertise to handle your land matters in this region. I thank you so much. Before I hand over the microphone, our head of station, all of us here, is available. We cannot leave this floor without his presence here.
Thank you so much, Madam Tuhaire. This is the team that provides land services. They are thanking you for the work you do, and those hands, they are saying, do more if you can. Thank you so much. Yes, you can sit. I think, as had requested you earlier, I have a challenge with the leg. My brother Peter will be co-emceeing and taking over from there with the program, but the weather is not very kind to us. If you are given an opportunity, please use it well. Thank you so much.
Next. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Next on the program, we have told you about the services offered by EMZO. We are going to have presentation by our stakeholders. That is the area land committees. We want a representative, one. And then a representative from the district land board, who is always the chairman, and a representative from the city land board, who is the chairman also of the city land board. So if we have any representative of the area land committee, let him come here, not forgetting the physical planning committee. Because these are the people we work closely with. We have the land officers from the district. They will greet us. See staff, district staff surveyor. He will wave to us. And then we concentrate on these three. Area land committee. Good.
All protocols observed. My names are Martin Egum, the chairperson Area Land Committee, Lira City West Division.
Eno ko ni obedo matine gum. Ena yo obedo wonkom me jo ame mohu lobi tedero. Lira City
West Division.
Lira City West to Porcheng.
I have a team of 5 people in the committee, and I am the chairman, the head. Briefly, what we do is what have been said here. All the processes of acquiring the land forms which were listed here starts with us.
Eno ko ni pola jama ginu tiyo dong ko kan eto form dushu ame kwa ho lobo. Achaki mere cha he bodgi neno tulongo nyingi kanene.
Be it customary, land tenure, freehold, or leasehold.
Nyo bedo lo mete kwaro ama mano miyo dang certificate unyo ngolo ni freehold unyo lease amegamente nyo district land board mi iname mo hamorani.
And if you are interested, these forms which were mentioned here, Form 4, Form 10, Form 23, you get from us.
So I ko bi kaimito form samo ko nyingi kan Form 4, Form 10, Form 23 ini chahi bodgi.
And we guide you how to fill them.
Unyuti kireme pongo formo eno.
Then we will have the inspection date. Then we go for inspection. What we will want you to provide from there are the neighbors in place and the witnesses and the LC1.
So eno ko beauty nino amaya ulwani inspection day nino work me work ya boro lobo no don kaginu binu jo apigi tek uberu neighbors kede LC1 kede jo ame moho amo ulwani witnesses.
The witnesses can be the opinion leaders who are around that place, who know very well the area and the issues around.
Gincha dene no uberu gino mi tamadon ame ongeo kopi kom lobo no abe tutwal. So gin romo chung memo kuchaden.
After that, we as the committee come and write the report, complete the form, and send to the board for approval.
So, gino ko ni iyonge gin roto lobo, gino binu cho report, uto tieko pongo form na ber, uto chwale district, board jolwani district land board. Memoko.
So, with us in our office, we are available and ready to serve you, the population.
Your office gi, gino tie chawa dushu, ame uyi here, meme yu konyar kiken.
Or even if you want to consult, we are available.
Kademi tu penyo tam, dushu gintie.
And if you fall under my area and you need the service, my number is 0782
ni cho uno number mere ni kai ni ti mi
92 5805.
Repeat again.
0782 92 5805.
Uko ni ti no tabira bora rio abongwen ario aboro bisaboro
not a beach.
Not a beach.
Thank you.
Poyo. Thank you very much. That's a representative of the Chairman Area Land Committee. May I call a representative of the Chairman District Land Board? Time is not on our side. Chairman, time is not on our side. let's try to compress as the weather is not very friendly to us.
All protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Paul Chankoma. I stand here as chairperson of Lira District Land Board.
Eno mo wundushu. Ko binyi obedo Paul Chankoma. Obedo wonkom me Lira District Land Board.
I am agog that we are here and the Minister of Land is here to handle matters of land. As you are all aware, land is a matter of life and death. It is my conviction that this baraza should have even been earlier than this, but nonetheless, better late than never.
Eno ko wala mo moro kani am agog. Agog do tani yidong yom mukaro karo ko. Me wan bed wonu kan. Ginu tie me yukon. Eta na hariki ene. Ngonu gino paro ni timere ene. Dong gina tinu timere ni ene. Uber me yom chwin do hitawo ni bikonyo total. Me tie kukop me lobo. Ame tie yeluwa kano kikeni lao kan.
Before I proceed, I want to invite my colleague chairpersons of district land boards and members of district land boards of the Laos sub-region who are present with us here. May you please come up here, especially chairpersons. Members can stand up for recognition. Chairpersons, step up here.
Pero eno mede, nye pero mede lo kere metulongo. Uwase mede tiyo kere wegi kome dushu me district land boards. Members romo do intent utomo tokawa. Eto kay beru won come district land board bin kane.
Of course, I recognize the presence of the chairperson of the city land board, who is our host, so that I cannot move him to come here. That's a special person, he's a senior citizen, but I will introduce these members. They are mature enough, so each of them will do self-introduction.
Okay.
May it please that they introduce themselves. Thank you.
Eno koni ewe haditora chel pinkasha ngata won come city land board munuberu boss mera ditere pero yello me bino kan eto pe we homakika John be jodon ginyute.
Thank you very much, fellow chairperson district land board. All protocol observed. I would like to appreciate the ministry for organizing this event. It's long overdue. There are issues that actually we need to let the public know, and I believe this forum is the most appropriate forum. I am called Daniel Evans Oluoch. I am an advocate by profession, but I'm the chairperson District Land Board for Kole. Thank you very much.
Nye Evans Oluoch, uberu chairman me Kole District Land Board. Eno ko biye yom tutual. Etamni chohere ni tikera gam me peke moga mo beru diwa. Akchalo chairman ukobo biko choka ino numero beda woro. Ento monokoni better late than never.
All protocol observed. My name is Moses Ejor Ungom. I'm the chairman District Land Board Dokolo. I'm pleased that I am having opportunity to be here and learn more. Otherwise, we in Doklo, all that has been lined up as a conveyor belt is conveying very well. Thank you.
And nyo luoni Moses Ejur ngom uberu won kom me district land board me doholo ko biye yom tutwal pilunga mo luoi kere kan a chalogin ameuti conveyor belt system amonu ko ni gamo ba che mari me kara chonche te me yawoti geni board gi kunu tuti chabe pe homar pe gen gamo to chwalu bo faka.
Thank you very much. May it please that you can resume your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to start with, a lot has been said about district land boards. We have been lampooned, we have been castigated, we have been lambasted, and all and sundry rests and vests with the district land boards. regardless of the merits. It is more disappointing and heartening that it is those who do not know who speak most critically about the operations and functionings of the land board.
Chairman, District Land Board. Ukobelemo mati tekano District Land Board. Ube department na chiel amejo yeo owo chanyo ping. Piginu kene chao kenang nogin potimo. Adon rachalo jo ame kero karame wigi unyo kero bali komgini. Ube jo arang pengeo ngame timere I District Land Board.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to very meticulously peruse you through the mandate of the district land boards.
And yore district land board timo.
The district land board number 1 is mandated to allocate public land. Public land under the law has been defined as any land not belonging to anybody.
Tijina machielo bero me yujo lobagamente. Dong lobagamente ube lo morki ken amepe obero me ateder.
Belonging to somebody means there's a claim of ownership and or there's a registration of interest in that particular land. If somebody has registered interest, if somebody is claiming ownership over such land, then that land does not constitute part of the land that should be allocated. So it goes without saying that that would not constitute land for allocation. Number 1, I know it is going to unrattle seats. People are going to feel uncomfortable, but this is the naked truth. And I'm not going to deviate from the naked truth.
Kaini tike de miri ilowo moro. Eti pera ke gina menyuru ni lowo no megi. Miri ni chani pege land board watanyim meme yo lowo ne no bon ngatoro. Donc indi ke complain no meri kelo to niango. Ka tigere kakare te chobere kape obera mono.
Secondly, there's a procedure established by the law. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not unhappy, and I am not about to regret the fact that I am a lawyer and so I know the law. So in my administration, in my management of land, I deal with the law, I follow legal procedures. And so I ensure that all procedures envisaged under the law is followed to the dot.
So I know koni gin utikere yo nyoni steps amero gino lobby ame pero komi udano lobo. Dong en na chare bera ngorko en ebero dano kwano chik. Gino neno ni lobo kaka mi ubodano mero lob chik koro dusha me mite memo yu lobo no eka otome.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is also important to know as a beneficiary of our services or a potential beneficiary. Beneficiary is somebody who is already processing titles. Because we do registration, we do allocation, we do lease extension, we do lease renewals. I will speak about that. But most importantly, firstly, as a Christian, I want people to appreciate the fact that do not preach the gospel that do what I say, but not what I do. We have leaders who preach the gospel that do what I say, not what I do. So when they're saying, you know, don't process your title with the district land board. Go to the city land board, for example. That's an example. But they are very busy processing their titles with the district land board. I'm not going to call names. That is one. That is very unfortunate. That is double standards, and that is unadmirable to me. But secondly, Kurkong, Kape Jinigon Jungwe, Haloke Leblanc. Haloke Leblanc, enter Gonjelamono. Eh? Haloke Leblanc, eh? Pakon Road. Bambe, Karadushu, Yeshu and Yo, Warren Karachiel.
Okay, he's saying God is good all the time good is good. Jesus is the way, let's work together. That's a Catholic. Catholics, they talk like that.
Kaime to Nongolan title, Machiel, in Warningo, Winyuna Bear. Check the Land Act. Okay, land board constitution and I'm creating. So land board uberatina constitution uberatina penchik. I'm 1995. What am amending section article 241 and I'm establishing district land boards. So kai me to riamoko nyo pe me to teach kere located member me parliament ni me worry parliament will lock check. Pien 1 or 2 teacher lower kere the constitution. That is number chel. Namario Land Act omio tuero both district land boards. Meti you teach a lower kere ngono loyo buoyo kere nenno bera bera loba gamente. Koro loba anu atia kobunien. Loba me pobe de ma ngatoro keken. No be mango magamente. So jo mio land boards tuero me dealing nyo meti kere koro lobono. So ameti yakina mere meyu kai kwao jo mi meti kere. Dang no mi ta chik. Dong ti procedure mere lobi ame ana choko buni. Land board dang jo mio tuero kai ti lo mara no miu ko akido mi wa abimiriki. Kau tumu kwa me ti tikere ber I worbo land board otengo no teme do kare me jini tikere. Kai me to chato ko chik tia momi otwero bod land board kiken. Memi yitwero me jini chato. Nyo memi yitwero me timu ginoro kene ame no po mi agreement ame ngono. Amo mi kede. Do ami ti John yanga ber. Mondo no kele kope lease. Ipola kare ka wore tedero ame woto luak ni ochogi ni lobo gi dano kobo ni ame to leasing lobo na ko naka lobo mete kwaro no te ko ne to leasing obedo lemono me leasing yene ka gonyo ni pango lobo ni mi ngatoro pango lobo ni no obedo megini jin mi ngatoro pango do ame ta do ya woni baraza ne pian baraza ni eno obedo me mi ngej bod luak ni nge uno ngo ame timere. Kae mito ni nwong land title, jini bini ta choyo lobo ni. Pen chek tia mo miwa, system sa mo choke de lobo. Tigina ngwen. Amere do we hakobo ko. Na machiel lere ubeden Liz anati Yakobo ni. Liz tere ni jini ti pangolobi bon ngatoro. Ka land board umi loba mobedo magamente no jini ti pangapai bo land board no pobedo megini jin pikara mo mi kede no ena me jini tiu kede mono bedo land usage tich kede edo not ownership ka wor lepchek wor na rio kana nyo senior citizen kede chairman ne kole no ge ungeo kene chek lepchek jino yeje ka tich kede agreement a jini signing cha kobo ni kaime to chate ngato or mire dog board land board me o miji twero me chato ka land board po ye ni cha lobo gi pe charro kai charro no jini igamo chenne kedo kore bon ngatoro no land board po ye da chik pe yeyi so dano no eno no yenyi jine ka ta dwoko chenne mere mono na machiele no Mario mere Kae metu nyiku kara me land board mi ka wano mi lobo o mi lobo ni tich kede pi mwaka bich yene uluoni initial term ile mono initial term no wano ko ni lobo ni wano mi wore ti kede metu yu biashara commercial user nyo wore ti kede me gerote bedo ni jin within Mohabit making nani igero otora meti million piera beach million mia chiel nyo million piera boro kai gero ko duok borwa kere chade na me nyoro ne jini developing ka mi batin ite dong lobo no ko ite mo jama wana million duch within nina chiel duok dikin yene te koni nyaya uno do nino ko ando atieko tichuko terms kere condition no mi awuno ni yene atieko ko wano binu tangi yo wot kunu to roto ka no ni gero ko gero kitiena ma ko ni okay ka ko ni gero ta million mi chiel akire gero moro me million pier bor no yelle one o extending term mu to 49 years mono tichuken tijamelan bo tiwen no eto mier nuong ni apart from gero to no eti chulo premium woke winyo no fi gine plan value government value ename ngeo welere so kai wot bod ki kucha o determining value me mere chole nwe cholo ko ibinu ki bod ke de chaden Mario ibinu ke de chaden na me nyurin nwe ti cholo ground rent jili cholo bod city authorities yam no tikere division se chane patia po yaber eto yam che wore chola diel kai ti diel wore cholo juina nyo wore cholo railways nyo wore cholo kwene kai cholo jini binu ke receipt kai terra nyo etimo ni ngono wan ka ngio ni an bot te bedo te yeng ni ginien chal gina mo me division one extending term so mi ni anguna be kai binu ke de chaden no one onye hongo no kare me jini tich ke de lobo no edo lobo no po bedo megini obedo ma district land board edo jinno e tich ke tikere twero me tich ke pi mwaka piera ngwen wi abong ngwen mwaka piera bongwen wi abong ngwen na wano ko boniene obedo from nino mach yella mo mi kede chakare chenga mo mi kede donc ka joti ka mi lobo ote mi tam me mwaka bich Jinite lobo chi hera meti agreement ya nyo Mohamed woni signing ke de land board cha kado jindo ke yin land board ibinu ke de conditions ke de terms ame bodo yin ke de ote medo ka medo jahe nino mwa kapira ngwena bongwe niene jahe from nino ma chiela mo mi ke de the first term cha wana luoni initial term obedo nino ma chiela mo mi kede cha achala por kao mi no lobo inendo chiel medwe ma chiel mo hatutu mi ario adi par beach pi mo ha beach bay nindo piero wa nindo piede ka chiel medwe ma ngwen mo hatutu mi ario no tam cho tumuko donc ka jini duogo bod no angeyo ni karamo mini en jini tiu kede ber ya pe kai tiu kede ber e ka ota chora nyim Mario me nyoma dek kanu jomi mo ha piera ngwena bongwena ko dong ka jini duogo jini bini te kwayo lease renewal terni mo ha piera ngwen wi bongwen wano mi do tumuko donc jindo hitimiti o mi mo ha piera ngwena bongwen no kene donc no neno ni memi yi mwa kapiera ngwena bongwe no kene ngwa me jini timo kede lobo no kai gero togo moro nyod gwen noro nyo ginoro ka kitu neno ni mono nuo pa chek donc miere nong ni kai ke rod ba chala porere kai gero ba Lira hotel kitu nyo gero Gracious Palace nyo even pacha me jini beriye then omi a renewal pi mwaka piera ngwen wi bongwe no kede kita list yo kede no so tere lobo no po bedo megini ka jini mito dong transfer yo ko miere bini nuong twero I bod memi jini kobo gina tia American pol la jo en wodano yati yo charo ko miotin te chato ko dihi miyo ngono ge mono en no etil wan kede chik apira tekere ban Mario mere ameno ata mania kobi kaji ni bino me nuongo nyemi to nuongo balu me choyo twero ni lobo an pa luongo ni leasing kita jo luongo kede cha ubedo kani nuo jo pon yanga beber eto me leasing nuo koni bedo pango kai tike lobo ni mete kwaro nyweti lo mora me wila jini mito ni bini cho pe bini koni ana mito amito leasing lobo na taki domo ka lemon me leasing nweti panga mono biro lobo ni jin ngatore na mire pangi borri jin pedo ke bini ta koni amita leasing lobo na ko so atama do ya woni kaniene lemon no we hunu ko kai dog kede lemon me amito registering nyo amito wo choyo lobo na an
Chairman.
Ame gamente twero ngeyo.
Kalo watie idiere me di city wani kono. Eto vero mete kwar.
Atia bini ye. Peti ginara ma we ko tin pian nyo gikina me lokene. So kai choyo lobo ni wana registration of your interest in land. Jini itimir ni gamente nge tuero ni ame jini tikede lobo no. So gamente cho te recognizing miyo ka ngato bino mebino yeli no jini tikede bala mo luone certificate of title. So copy and I will register I will leasing lobo na ame to leasing. Owek munu mono bedi. Ado winyu loka chairman ne Lira district land body. Tindo mi wingeo. Dong kai me to bino choyo lobo ni procedure tiene ngo. Chik kobo ni area land committees ameti sub county achiel ename woro te ongeyo wori lobo no eno te onyono wang kia te luongo neighbors ukero na notice ukero balo meme yo jongeyo ni chan komatin ameti jo cholo mero koni ene nyo registering ameti no land title. Dong omito miyo joe kan no te dero me kan ma abosho lil ngeyo ni chan koma abinu kede area land committee kedu bema me ngono ame cholo bo iyongene ndo para ngwen chakare tine kati ngatora meti kede koho jin bini ni no ame wano bedo kene wore lobo kunu eka ote onyono wankia ote pito mara kai ti koho moro jin na ite katu kede ko kapetie jote pito mara nyote pito gweng kaunu surveyor tie nyongonoge monuno moho area land committee chik kobani bedo jo abich chik dang kobani aduong kom gimier ben ngata me domo kaunu pengeole mono no pekwen no. Now chik per recognizing monoglots a monoglot bedo ngata loka lepto tere kai lo ka leba chiella kenni ename leptot ni eno lueni you a monoglot. So bien do forma mo poncha noti lemono so miero pong uchadene teberatie achaden must not necessarily be neighbor ni ngatoro ki kena mengono beru kanu tengiyu temoko mono na machiel na mario ka area land committee awon menge yo lobo no miere nuongi quorum gitie quorum me jo abich ubere jo adek ka ote gina rio ken ka application no binu bor wan po ye pien mono no po inspecting no po lo bere kede chik so mono miti da nge unu kai woruno ma de kere kai woruno kuno ame jong yo lobo ama application jo kelbo land board neni chia den ame moko ni lobo no bedo megini tie ka obedo ma te kwaro lo mo mi mete kwaro neni aduong kila awitong jan jago aduong dogola attorney general bani mo kimo kaboni ucho balo me moko ni man lo mete kwaro me wando miyo ko bon ngano borro aliru mara kaena binu kede wano tiyo kede mona chalo chaden pian chik po ye yo me wot kun yo ka koporti ena mi wano twero wot me okwedo me niango no atena kopi kunu eto chik kobani area land committee obedo wangwa wumwa kede yirwa ameti kwene on the ground pian wat po twero wot kanoro dushu so pire tek ni niango no jamino kai po application da me imito ni bin neni kero copy me national ID photocopy pe kelo na original copy me national ID ni jin photocopying itete mataching ya application na makelo bo land board jini twero kele komi nyo twero me yo surveyor ni kai tikede nyo twero me yo area land committee chairman nyo any member mekelo I board nweti mataching national ID mier team da attaching a photocopy me chiali jin pieni chawan yene land title me jotia katukere no chiali beri ye time karachona me no ngatoro katukere title me peti chiali pe ye peti ngeyo ana processing title eto tinyinge wichugu niko na duo bago nyongo no geni nyo bacteria mono dong petie so mie neni copy me ID ni ti tim attaching. Kede chali de tim attaching. Kaji ni kele land board bedi ye eka otemoko ka onu ni ginoro kiken tiamo keng nyop tiamo rem one otemo gino luoni deferring ka o deferring application ni notere ni okwero moko kopi chawa no eto twero moko ni no kene ka ichobo ngono jama meti uremiye dong jin miere chob ngono ngamo remcha ka okoni national ID pe nyogina memoko ni lobo bedo megini petie miere ket jamino eka inina wano bedi ye cha ya nyimcha eka doko tengono te bedi ye ka ono ni tie eka ote moko ka moko ene ameka kel application ni wano tiyo kede bedo ka gina dek na majel obed approval no jin no imato jami duj no gina mami te duj jini chobo itieko igwero take ka new curriculum yeno koni nuongo no obema ni ngeo Mario defaro tere ni tiginora ma rem omiyo board po yen kede application ni so jo choro kwa nyim jo angiyu jo awinyu jo amoko inino moro kene ma de kero be rejection ka application ti rejected tere ni board okwero ko okwero pitien ko pateka pelare anok gini binu kede application ametia bedo district chambers kan amelan title tiye okay chodo okay jomi atami patie ko panotie jono nge yipire tek mo teder nyang so ka rejecting no jin nyo etimi title e yikulu nyo etimi title iyogudu nyo etimi title kana ngato ro tikere title ye monno wan rejecting ko monna kira de kuk duru kire miele we pesho no pe nuongo monno luone rejected so responses ame jini no e land board no members we hakwa kisha on behalf of boards one miere o communique o chobalo board dana chera chel meme yungeyo ni application wana kwero ko new application ni o deferring new application is approved eto government wa wana ti yeni ene no chien na mo chwalo peromo miyodo atia wori item na mario bedo commissioner, let me speak in English. We have a challenge as district land boards in adequate funding. We have rampant and so many applications. Unfortunately, we are normally bogged down and incapacitated from handling the numerous applications that are presented before us. Why? Because of lack of funding. Lira District Land Board receives a total of 2 million shillings per quarter for 3 months. 2 million shillings. Every sitting needs 1.5 million shillings, less taxes. So which means we can only sit once in 3 months. When we don't handle applications, when we don't sit, the populace here are on our case. As I speak, the last time I checked this morning, I have 3 cases filed in courts of law that we are delaying handling applications, we are procrastinating, we are not doing what we should, we are statutory negligence. And yet I cannot invite my members to come and sit and deliberate and pay my money for members who are coming 50 kilometers away, 20 kilometers away, and so on and so forth. So, as a ministry, the last time I heard government is complaining that we are not raising enough revenue. You are not satisfied with the revenue being generated from lands departments, but you are not facilitating enough. If you want to milk a cow 10 liters, take it to green pastures, to the swamps, and so let it feed so that you feed it, so that you can milk. You are not doing the feeding of the cow. Tell the PS or the minister. The minister was here, I told him the other time. We cannot be sitting at our own cost. I can't be using my personal monies to buy stationery, to buy, and so on, to be driving from my remote village. I'm not a civil servant. I only come when there are sittings. So, improve on the funding. And this is something I share with all my colleagues. You see, they are nodding, They are nodding in the affirmative. So that means I am speaking for them, and not only here. In other forums where we have met, all the chairpersons are complaining. It is only that in this region of the world, we are doing badly. Otherwise, somebody would have voluntarily resigned. I am lucky that my term is akajambeting, and in 3 or 4, 5 months' time, I'll be leaving office. It is not the best place to be in, despite the pressures, constant pressures. That be as it may. The other concern the members have, legislation. Legislation. The National Planning Committee, National Planning Authority sent a team here, and I did tell them, if you are planning, you plan appropriately for the boards. If not, get rid of them. You don't need the boards that you're not going to facilitate. And at the end of the day, you're complaining, you know, they are very corrupt, they are doing what, and so on. If somebody urgently wants a title and is saying, Chairman, I have your fuel. I'm going to give you 10 liters of fuel. You are from Aromo, coming here. Come and sign my documents. Or let me come to your village. What do you expect me to do? I should wait for 3 months to disable his business because he intends to get a loan from the bank. Lira City, or Lira District previously as it was, is the third in income generation. Why? From where? It is because of businesses. What do these businesses depend on? They depend on bank loans. I know you could have got a loan, unless you're too well off. If you have got a loan, you need a security. The security is these lands. Okay? So, if we cannot be enabled to enable the developers and the generators of income who generate revenue for government, which government is proud about, and you see them, you know, proudly speaking about, you know, generation, Lira City is doing well. They do not know the efforts being put by different stakeholders. So, take it to the PS. You people look at that. If I don't speak about it, nobody's going to talk about it. But people are dying here. People are very desperate. People are suffering locally. I am the only mouthpiece who can put that, and I don't care. So, and by the way, all these tents should have been crowded and full. Most people have not attended in protest. Why have they attended in protest? Because you government, you're busy harassing land developers here. Okay? Take it back. Land developers are being harassed. The minister came here the other day. Of course, there are legal issues. Howsoever, not every issue.
In 2 minutes.
Not every development is subject to the harassment, mistreatment, and maladministration they're being subjected to. So it is important that you also look into that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also important that I raise a few issues. The most important one is matters of the law. I did hint about it. If we intend to change the legal regime, let's be straightforward. Let's change it. The last time I checked, Parliament has not yet approved any law changing the legal regime. And that was last evening. Maybe they're debating now. If they have debated now and changed the law does not act retrospectively. Okay? Until the president has approved it, it's supposed to be gazetted. So, the Land Act has provided for legitimate functions, whether it is security, whether it is central government, or who. The last time I had a discussion with the Prime Minister, I told her, I said, follow the law, I'm also following the law. And I'm not about to deviate. Under Section 28 of the Land Act, conversions of leaseholds are permitted into freehold. There are conditions you must accept. There are conditions you must follow. If you have adhered to those conditions, the law allows you to convert a leasehold to a freehold, regardless of whether it is in New York or where, provided it is within the jurisdiction of Uganda. So we have been following the law. I have heard, so many complaints and so on, have been threatened with arrests, etc. But I've been acting according to the law. The law permits conversions of freeholds to leaseholds. Leaseholds to freehold. So it should not be held as if it is a criminal offense. And these people should know it is in the law until the law has been amended. That is number one. But number two, under that, as an addendum, the authorities of the city should appreciate the fact that when you have a freehold, you even generate more revenue. That is the reason why, if you have gone to the West, or if you follow the West, the rich, it is only the rich who own property. The poor do not own property. Whereby the poor, I mean the poor. The English pronunciation is the poor. So the poor do not own property. So a person with a freehold property, provided they're generating revenue from it, they make a lot of revenue for government. If somebody was paying a ground rent of 100,000, if he has a freehold property, he will pay about 2 million shillings, which the city authorities should appreciate, acquaint themselves with, and acclimatize themselves with the law. That is the law. We are not doing anything outside the law. And I am speaking as chairperson of the District Land Board, who has been victimized by numerous comments, you know, always and perpetually, and maybe until I leave the board. That be as it may. You are done with recording that point, sir? Can I proceed, sir? Okay, thank you. So, if it is not illegal for people to own leaseholds under the law, why must it be rejected that the populace of Lira City should not? And yet they are even generating more revenue. And even the conversion process generates more revenue to government. And the government valuer has determined it. And it is within the precincts of the law. Okay. I thought it was important to say that. But secondly, sir, with all due respect, I get baffled that applications for freehold come from within the new jurisdictions and demarcations of the city. When the city was mapped, geographically mapped, and or temporally or provisionally mapped, it encompassed lands below customary lands, you know, from the Hokwok, where, and so on. And now, unprecedentedly, we have so many graves by the way within Lira City because those are customary areas and so on. Like I was saying before, the law says a leasehold is granted for land that you are renting from somebody. So if your grandfather cut a forest 50 years ago, and you're in Ngera, you're in the Hokwok, you're in Amusha, or where else, and that land has never belonged to the public, it is not public land, why must you apply for a leasehold? Must you apply to rent it from somebody when it is yours, instead of somebody coming to rent it from you? Does it make sense? In my thinking and the wisdom of my board members, we thought it does not make sense. And it is not lawful. So an application coming from these other areas, we have approved freeholds. But we have also gone ahead to approve lease conversions. If it means going to court, we are ready. We shall go to defend the legal position that as a board, we have executed, we have done, or we have carried out. So take it back to the peers. That ignorance of the legal position is part of the perpetuation of the wrangles you hear about in this Lira City. And that must stop. Lastly, I hear and I have read from the law books that a district land board is an autonomous institution. If it is autonomous, it means it is independent. The law goes ahead to say nobody, not even you, not even your minister or your PS, can influence us on what to do. I am afraid maybe I and my board, we have not understood the interpretation of autonomy or independence. Why? Because up to now, even this baraza I am attending here, I have come, by the way, as a wananchi. I've not been invited. I'm speaking here like, you know, the chairperson of the board. I thought it was important. He's about to interrupt me, sir. Can you prevail on him to give me 1 minute to conclude?
I was thinking, If there are other issues, the PS is still around. But you finish that last point, Chairman.
So
but any other issue that you have not mentioned,
thank
you still have a rapporteur with him.
Okay, thank you. But this one you need to know, because I'm acting for and on their behalf. Thank you. So, even this meeting here, these issues I'm raising, I was not aware. I just heard over radio that there's a baraza, so I decided to come. I thought I should do formally, if government is acting, we should have got communication. So it brings me to the point of inadequate communication by the ministry. As an independent entity, we ought to be communicated to. The law says you communicate to the secretary of the district land board in any matter. When I was coming here, I checked with my office and the secretary had not received any communication. Maybe it arrived after me. I am not accusing anybody, but this is important for improvement of governance, for improvement of our government that we so much love. RCC, I think you agree with me. That is for improvement of governance. Okay? So, improve on communication systems. If you have terminated or you have ended and or you have abolished operations of the district land boards, communicate to the board that with effect from today, you are no longer operational. Your terms have ended. If you are transitioning us into another authority or entity, let us know that with effect from today, part of your authority, as you must cede it to the next authority. I have been patiently waiting. I wrote to the Solicitor General. I have a copy of the write-up 3 years ago. My term is ending. They haven't responded. That is a very effective government, and we must thank them. Actually, clap your hands for government. Government is very effective. 3 years ago, I wrote a letter to the Solicitor General seeking guidance. How do we transition? Because the law says we are independent. I have not got a lone reply. Not only did I write, I have interacted with many of my colleagues from whom cities have been created, and they are yet to receive similar responses. So sometimes you want to blame us, but I must also operate within the ambit of the law. A security officer may come and force me to leave office. But what does the law say? If he's acting illegally, must I respond or honor his orders? Definitely no. Me, as a person who knows the law, I will not respond to that. I will heed to what is lawful. Because if I succumb to what is unlawful, I am committing an illegality. I don't want to go to Lira. I'm told it is very cold. I've been lucky I've not yet gone there. So, there's need for improvement in legislation, and legislation will enable communication, and communication will enable efficacy, so that we don't have this petty issue. I'm not going to talk about, matters of the city. But the last time we met in this boardroom, in his presence, we did agree that matters that have already been handled by the board are 10%. What does 10% of an application mean? It means you have gone to the area land committee and they have approved. If it has come to the district land board and the board has sat and approved of it, we had an induction for the last 2 weeks in Mbale with officials from Ministry of Lands, and they told us actually that is valued at about 60%. So we are advised by the director. The lady was called director, somebody, Nabumbao. She said, those files you will not handle. You photocopy it at their cost. We have been patiently waiting. The recipients of these files haven't turned up. Even right now, if we go, before 5 p.m., we shall hand over the files. But that be as it may, as a chairperson who is law-abiding, I also expect a formal communication about the status. Because you, as a ministry, you sent an assistant commissioner in charge of mappings and surveys, sometimes in November last year. What did he say? He told me in my office, and the evidence is there if you want, that they are looking for funds to come and do a mapping and survey for proper demarcation, because right now you are also not sure what belongs to the city or what belongs to the district. So it is safer to wait once the survey and mapping has been done, then we can hand over. So who am I to be accused all the time that the district has refused to hand over file when they are conflicting, contradicting, and juxtaposing opinions from the ministry, from the authorities concerned, and so on and so forth? ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was important to bring this to your attention. I thought it was important to begin. You're not here harassing and handing over. No, these are points. Exactly. And that is why I've said lastly, the quality of the points and submission is another issue. But like I said, I want to invite my colleague, senior citizen and distinguished citizen of Uganda, who is the chairperson of the city board, to make a few comments before I can close.
I want to observe the protocol that was established here, and with the permission of the officials from Ministry of Lands, I want to speak in Luo, where I feel it is important for you to pick something and it's not coming out quite clearly. I will revert to the English language. Luakabe tikan Anya Aliromara, a better chairman, Lira City Land Board. I'm to pour your ministry, my lungo chokarani. I'm a tamanu atamano numero pong kat kan. In Copa Marco Cobecom Lobo, Ilao kan, theater tech. I'm in a poor. My colleague, Paul Chankoma, Mebero Nera Papa, first, metit yore, kita memire nuon kere waraga, my lawyer loboni. Eka merio, amirina poe, pideru dana mechunye tek, meko bongo ametingo, ametichunye. Now, Kopikum Lobo, Anamita Kobi Malo, Mewe at a week Wukare, Mekopo Kopametu Yechunu. Kopa Nakobo, a beta Chalami Young H, Amepe Okato, in Ome Paul, San Komakobo. Mea Chiel, Lira City Land Board. Chingo kena ankatia wot, a winyo kobini board do petia teach. Ami to kobiwuni Lira City Land Board tia teach. Danga teacher tech. One schedule merwatewa, one rwate rio. Idue chiel. Urwate ya chaki due keria gikingo. Keria gikidwe. En nameana copy omio land titles a Paul. En no beru leases nyo pango lobo. Kiden amenu mi etwal a chalo meri. Amitiluang nyang ni.
Translate to the public native.
You want me to translate? Okay, amitiluang nyang ni point a chela me Paul chan como kobo. Amaro kobe como pora com pango lobo. Keden na me dong mini atwal. Pil lobo meti city kan. Amito kobe ni ke dong tie waraga wano mio dong a Paul i city. Obedo me free hall. Obedo me lobo, amenu o mi atwal nyobedo ngo, nyobedo meri. En na meti yelo wiwa, ena yobedo kob me lo mengo, lo me apa. Ibiru penya piti kopa ngo. Tia chiel, yin RCC amiti win kerjo me emzo damit ni win tieni ikara me okara ngeche wan pot pero bini kom ti jo ame districts obino miyo lobo nyo municipality obino miyo lobo ame condition no tieni pero mo chato lobo no niyo kengo fulfilling certain conditions and to polla lobo ni jo bino charko abon fulfilling conditions mari ko miyogi aporere Paul no kobokan ni umi wa beach o ta koboni igerorie en ti jo ame ogamo lobo balatin te o chata ko badigi abon dang tuere mo yai bongo e bodland board now Paul gido tia ringo borwa ni wano kob dong lobo ni ngo e nyingi kun gin peor olubo ngo condition mengo America mi okeri ngo ko lobo manu gin na be achiel me tia yelo wiwa ento wano ti otemete ko dishu menungu yoro me tieko ko kopo copy ti politically very sensitive pingo dano o mio lobo pango lobo no chulo la beach premium ta yawo chato kelo 100 million okay o chulo premium 500,000 ta o chato kelo 100 million ento pe o lobo conditions matingo at least so mano this whole application the metia yilwiwa is city board eka merio procedures Apollo explain it do tiaber ginana mit emphasizing in a year colleagues were in the system the conveyor belt metikan one of the surveyors now a bar which a chiel surveyors mana miti winu na bear ena yeni Paul la joama mit land title tiyo ke surveyors as agents gino tiyo ke surveyors as agents now because gin tiyo ke surveyors as agents inuni kawa mi quotation mo ko ni mainland board tiya roman megin tiya roman ana mito ko buni i city board peti chende mara mo chulongo o chulo land board peogi metichi agent memo yo title li eto ngato pe charging yini e charging on ni chenta me wod ngo i city land board chene no pere kakana mi jo nyanga ngo nyanga ber the procedure menuongo balo nyo waraga me lobo kita me otiro kerekan lemon lunity very simple and wun pe PNP mi runyu kop en na miyo gin nen chalo ginango gin attack gin pe gin attack kay yini chake about area land committee pedang mitani I would bonu ngato ni en bed agent wuratir bot area land committee first step no unity mo no eka to lobu kita no explaining kede tetinu na about board now chiente mora me o chulo chiaka bot area land committee atamoti chienda megin chulo me inspection taya kano te what the physical planning committee now physical planning committee ti te town clerk donc delays get here pero both area land committee kede a physical planning committee ento borwa kitanena ko bikere wana rate rio iduechel te ke jamani dujuti yore file na peter na daga beach kede tijo ame obedo keda kala kala wano luonge kobni luongari bini nyimwa ota explaining ngo ame tia timere dang pol ke wana explaining doka me otimo ngo doka me oyeng so atawa ni amet kenda no nok ingo ame pol sum ko kobo ngichu kene apire tek ame atawa ni luak mirunge ena ye e kare moro pi ko ripeka nen pol tia ko bicha obino choko files Tatari State House. Now, files no, the meeting about bino luongo, wano bino woro, otami wa files no dushu. Dongana kwayo, ngator dushu, ame tamani file meri ko choko ko terno, the land board, the State House. File no tibot city land board. Yin bin, obino mi ikare mengo, memi yo particulars be file ni wana biro moyo kakanari ogiki ye wana medde ta medde ye dan pola jokere ame obinu donga man title gino timongo gino nuo so money information appear attack ni ka files ri tawari ko bino kwanyo ko pi ruja ne nu tie kanene files no enono tie borwa yini bin ibini mo dang pe mi chul chene mori ye pen recorder watie utikere instructions ni mir mo jo file e kai meetings wa ma wono timo e kare rio e due cheli ene wano making sure ni at least files around pira deck you pira ngwen you pira beach ikom files are ko terno oti ye ota processing so ko bukana ler ni jami dang tika na ler binu wunu binu timu ngo e binu wopo ngo e binu wopo yore now kopa me akobere kani kobe kom chik and permito I don't want to make this forum a forum where we are going to discuss which is legally correct and which is not legally correct because I believe the officials from the Ministry of Lands have the ability and the legal advisors to give us the correct information. So in that context, this is what I want to say. That cities were formed out of districts. And the boundaries of these cities were announced. So, Kayine Mitoland title below Ameti within Lira City. You are wrong to go to Lira District Land Board. You are wrong because we have clear statements which says what we are supposed to do. So, file a jokene, tia urmokoko, PNK binu bot city, gir work bot Lira District Land Board. So that's an issue, Mr. Bo and the PS. That is a touching issue, and I want to add on what he said. We need a clear solution to that what? To that conflict. So basically, that's what I thought I should say. And just to thank you for organizing this forum. And where possible, there are these files he was talking about, the files that are still with the Lira District Land Board. That is a source of conflict politically between the political leadership of Lira City and the political leadership of Lira District. I want you to go back with that because we sat in Kampala and we agreed on a deadline for those files to be handed over to us. We even sat in EMZO here and agreed what should be done. He was correct to say where files had reached a certain level, we agreed there is no need to start afresh. And indeed, among the files that came back from State House and the Corruption Committee, we look at them where the process had been started. We don't start from afresh. We continue from where they had what? They had stopped. So basically, I thought those are the few comments I wanted to make.
Thank you very much. Chairman, District Land Board, may you conclude and then we proceed to the next.
Thank you very much, my senior colleague. Well spoken. I think you are on point. I just want to conclude in a minute or two. One, one appears it is paramount to note that under the law, the authorities are in charge of land usage. What the land is being used for. Physical planning. Physical planning is about land usage. I am afraid I have gotten so many complaints and disgruntlement, I think maybe also a few suits, where the city, I don't want to speak against the city. I thought my colleague was going to talk about it. But when applications are approved with the respective land tenure system, in Uganda we have 4 land tenure systems: freehold, leasehold, Milo is not here, and customary hold. The city is mandated as a controlling authority under the Physical Planning Act. They regulate what the land is being used for, not the land tenure system. The land tenure is a constitutional mandate of the board. But of course, if applications go and it is approved for freehold or leasehold, or people are complaining, I don't know, but I have letters in my office to that effect. So it is important maybe to do a capacity building for the authorities at the city council, for them to know that when you're sitting as a physical planning committee, you regulate land usage. Land usage is lobo ni uberma chankoma. Agero toile riye, agero chukul, agero yogudu, ya agero ngo. That is what they control. Not under what land tenure system is he holding this land. Under freehold, under leasehold, under customary, or under Milo. So there's need for a distinction. And I think there's need for capacity building. That's why I said maybe the Minister of Lands is sleeping on job. They are not doing enough to build capacities of the boards, but also maybe to build capacity. Maybe that is local government, to build capacities of the local government. So I thought that was important, because if I don't raise it to you, who else will I raise it to? I may die with it in my stomach. I don't want to do so. 2, members, it is important. Allow me to say this. There is a CCO project which is coming to Lira district. In 1 minute. CCOs obey the customary certificate of ownership. And you are more coded. Tia partnering with the government of Uganda, with the local governments. Apara BCL. Yilau kan take the Lira keda leptong. So jote binu implementing project ko. So kaya dog un project ko tieme choyo lobo meta kwaro jo ami title. Inu land title ame roma ke the freeholder woni timeto ni yene. So kaya dog un wori ko ba woti atam ni pira tag memi yungeyo. Ni project ko chok chahere. U training wa coded tia keto billion apara chiel. Lira kere aleptong. Lira district jo keto jo choyo titles jo choyo lobo. Tutumia piera biro imwa hangwen. Aleptong jo choyo lobo tutumia piera de kuya bongwen. Ame jo anungo title ler mete kwaro. Ka anungo title lo mono pa bir me ba me ena yama mo choy sub county niye. Mono surveyors abinu utekwanyo coordinates. Kita mo timu kede me leasehold nyume freehold. Ukwanyo coordinates eka akira pepiro mara akira pepit gweng. Kaya meto pito gweng nyo mara jinit wa timu at your cost. Eto project ki abino me konyi me jini beru kede certificate me title no icho lobo ni yuko. Kala ara morti ya kede yonge mohamier yo. nuo tinu ni kere jo ado lubiting ono ti secure I woro ke bino emzo kante ko ni mia uno coordinates ni cholo chene mo atitiri ite wote machine na kere ti America machine cha nyuti ni kane ni ti wota dia ha dong do kere kilometer chiel ite won na point ameno ti yeni ka jo puru mara ko nyo puru gweng machine cha te na hakuno so pire tek ate dero a cholo tutumia para menungu certificate donc project kere chok cha here aberi ya leptong kere Lira kan Lira district town council skaiti town council nyweti city project ko party mere ye mono bedo project amengo no jo atimo kai ilobo mete kwaro ameti yichalo kana no pengtiu dio jo ko ye donc atamani apowu ado ya ado hawo bedo niene oteder nge wuno ni survey services ti privatized jo here ni bedo memi yo teder ngeyo procedure menungu land title kede ngo amemite ka jini nungu surveyor maybe no pimu lobo ni mono jini nuwa piri pe land board na mechimi pe da city land board na mekobi jini nuwa ngatora me nuwa ni nyua me tamo ni chunyu po ametoro tichi ka bina koni chairman tia meto miliona binyo chile andi mono mege mere ya ita bini officer chairman ita bino penyi ni ti mito chiene mengo ginna metime maro timere no jo piru kede nying chairperson jo piru kede nying board so amiti nge unu kasa veo bin jin por kop kede meti chere na tiyuni kede gwenge na wopito kope land board kede ngoni ene mono wek bedi mono po bedi ticha savea after all ka opimu lobo ni ko jini twaro kelo fome jin na piri na hengo board babu salim jini ngeo gini ene ko bi neighbors ni nueno mo neighbor no jini guni lo hunu so apo ya tamani ami uka nge mo no pi ballo nyingo ka me chama ro timere apo woto twalba kagi nora me akobo kar yin ngator tima uno kisha eta an kom no ate chodo point mano koni chodo point lokatier kanaleng kay do kono pashu morunu pashu obame ugum
Thank
Nya
you.
Paul Chankoma.
Thank you, Chairman Paul Chankoma. Let me ask, okay, let me not ask. If you don't understand the language, Luo, you mentioned very good points there. Tell your next neighbor to translate, especially about how you acquire the leasehold title, the freehold, and how you can transfer. He talked of allocation, extension, and renewal. In any case, our office is always open. At the reception, we shall give you all the information about land procedures, the land tenure systems in Uganda, especially in northern Uganda, leasehold, freehold, and CCO, Customer Certificate of Ownership. Mr. PS is going to respond to the points raised by the Chairman District Land Board and the City Land Board. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. I take note of the concerns that have been raised by the two district land boards. But you will all agree with me that it is killing service delivery. It is not these people that are suffering. It is the other ones that are suffering. The same question was asked to me yesterday in a different context. For yesterday, it was the issue of forests and wetlands, blaming lands. So I asked them, where in the President's manifesto is it that we shall blame what? Each other. We are supposed to produce government services and deliver them effectively and efficiently. Now, when we start getting into such challenges, you know, it isn't good. It isn't good when the PS in June 2023 said we have to resolve the district and cities working together with the EMZO staff to convene the meetings and complete these modalities in not less than 2 weeks. The timeline was given. We have gone beyond the 2 weeks, and the people are suffering. Service delivery is not coming into, is not being received. The President is going to be here looking for votes. How shall he look at such an issue really? it shows that actually we have let down the government. Which government mandated us, the technical people, to implement this and give people titles, the end output, give people titles. But things are not okay. I have taken note of it, and we must move. We must move, we must move. There were so many recommendations that were made in this. Really, we shouldn't be bogged down by these issues. I agree with the two people who spoke of them. For sure, we have to follow the legal procedures. It is not good to get into political solutions because we shall not what? They might not stand the test of time. And I thought this document, it guided based on, it was a guidance based from technical people from Kampala. But we have not done it. So what I pick from here and what I'm going to pick going back is that we need a team to come and find a technical team, maybe even headed by the PSSF, to find out what happened to the, why didn't we implement this document here, which was signed or her. I think that will be the starting point. Otherwise, if we get into blaming and doing what, we are going to wait. And we shall be blamed. We shall be blamed for not delivering services to the people. A title is a title. What people want are titles, whether it is customary, whether it is lease, as long as you have followed the law. So, as a way forward, I am taking this matter with this, and I think the best way is to see how to harmonize the two people, the two groups, the city and the city and and the district. We must move. This is killing service delivery, and for sure it is not acceptable. We take note of it. We have captured all the issues, and I want to promise on behalf of PS that within 2 weeks there should be some sort of communication to address this thing within 2 weeks. Okay? And I want to request that we close this matter. Let us close it, but in the name of seeing how we chart a way forward, to give these people their titles, which titles will stand the test of time and will not be impeached. Okay? Otherwise, I think, Lira, we are not doing well. I want to close this matter. I don't think we should have any more questions. If you have a question, write and bring the question to me. I'm seated here. I'm not a presenter. But I want us to move as we are doing this. We all need to get into the next stage of learning how to use the what? The app. This app is going to help all of us. You know when it change, these issues you are hearing that there are two titles. I'm actually surprised when I heard that there is an application from the board and another application from the city. Submitted by you people, the same people. Now on the system, whereas do you have two applications? We have to sort out all these things. You must only have one application. And it is very easy to find out where should that application come from. I think that is all. If need be, if it needs to involve Ministry of Internal Affairs and Ministry of Local Governments, Ministry of Local Government, let us do this. But we must conclusively have something which goes on the system, which is authenticated, and which follows the law. So give us 2 weeks. I have asked what is on the system. There were also problems. Actually, I remember that there were some challenges with the physical what? The physical development plan that was on. That is another story. So you see, let us see if within these 2 weeks we can sort out these. Please, let us not conflict with each other. Let's not kill each other. Let's not poison each other. We are all one. We shall leave this land here. And our children, these things we are just passing through them. They shouldn't make us quarrel and do what. Let us get a solution to this thing. I thank you, and I close this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Yes. Enoko ni ginoro dushu ame petia wot kaka mi wangu chabi radio pelo wok jameti system wakane ni ko homora metie me streamlining ne ni jami wakanti wa ber pale wa physical planning pien ka ko bu yango ye kan pe atum so kaniti ko honi bin a tie jomoro ame omiro ni umot ka jo. But before I proceed, I don't know if it was announced before, we have our washing rooms here. For our VIPs, you will walk inside here, you will be directed. And then the rest of us, it is behind for both ladies and gentlemen. We have put there signs. You can go there for short call or whatever. May I invite the representative of the cows, all districts in Lango, Mr. Robert, please. Cow Kwania. Kwania, come and say a few words to us. You are very important. We cannot do without you telling us a word. Thank you very much. And you also introduce other friends who are here from other districts.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
The PS and your team who is here, our security team who have joined us in this very important interaction, and everybody. I am Okwanga Robert Alem, the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer of Kwania, but formerly I was in Oyam. When I was coming here, I realized I was coming home because we had a lot of interactions and a program called Slack with the Ministry of Lands. When it started, Buana PS, we thought it was going to be a very, very difficult exercise. But after the mobilization of the Wananchi, they realized the importance of the land management, and everybody were in total support. And we felt that is how we are supposed to move. When I was still in Oyam, which is still within this sub-region, we registered so many cases of death, murder, so many, and almost all of them were related to the land wrangles. There was an incident where about 4 people died on the same day, and we realized that when the issue of the land is not handled well, it goes straight to those of the RCC and in that docket. It turns out to be a security issue. And that's why today I had to leave everything that I was doing so that we come and listen to the concerns of the people in this Lango sub-region. And when the matter of the land is handled well, almost all the quarrels are resolved. This is how I've seen it here in Lango. I don't want to take much time, but I am very happy with the ministry, the way we are moving. It used to be a very long process and procedures, but now it is getting home, and most of our people are now appreciating it. Let me take this honor to introduce all the technical people who are here. Let me start with the colleagues in the administration department, the cows or the deputy cows who are here. Can you rise up for recognition if they're there? I think I'm alone. In the lands office at the district level, can you rise up, the technical team? I have my sister, Prosi, the senior land management officer of Oyam. And on the other side, I have Dennis Amuka, the senior land management officer of Kwania, and is the secretary district land board. Thank you so much for giving me this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carl. We are not breaking off for lunch. We have snacks enough for you. So let us let us let us have snacks and some drinks. There's a very important fraternity here. I want to give you 1 or 2 minutes. May we have the head of land surveyors or a representative to give us a word or two, because without you, we don't have any work here. Please. Do we have a head of land surveyors? I'm counting down. Gaspar or Rita, you come and give us a few words before we proceed. In computer, there's what we call deadlock. When you reach a deadlock, all of you cannot move until one person gets out. Just for a minute.
Thank you so much, Peter. All protocols all observed from Ministry of Lands and the entire Lango community. My names have already been mentioned. I'm Gaspar Okela, a private surveyor. With me here is Rita, also a fellow surveyor like me. We really thank our Ministry of Lands for bringing us the office close to Lango district. This office serves 9 districts within Lango sub-county. We really appreciate so much because it has made our work so easy. We used to go to Kampala head office to process those things and Entebbe for deed plans, but now at least we don't have to move so far. We need to stay around, and with all your corporations, being of course starting with the Land Committee, then the land boards, both city and then district, our work has really been so well and easy. We thank you so much. We don't have a lot. I know refreshments around, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Head of Land Surveyors. Now, the next point. Akwa ijoame peani ang lemono pichawa an pera gonyo jami duseta mi summary agiki. Eto point ado wan worieni pere tek ginamo noni public portal. Ame yiro be turi ichimi itemo yulobo ni kwena tiye neno ka ngato ro charuko unyo lonoro ngato gami ngome worieno kape ni an kitamo timu kere chawani anena ko buni okere. Madam Sarah, we are going next to presentation on the public land service portal. Yeah, of course we shall work together. Okay, so we shall show you how we go about public land portal. Madam Sarah, please. Mike is mature enough. She is going to introduce herself, and then we wrap. These are very two sensitive issues, the last 2 agendas. I want you to be very keen. Winyuno, idero, okan. Pemono. Yeah. Welcome, Madam Sarah.
Before I start, I will ask you people to download to buy some little data. You can buy enough for us.
Joti kede chim smata chia ni kwanyo ko ichi. Ka data pe ye ke data mar Pero ginatimu petek.
And something helpful.
Nangina bikonyi.
That you'll be able to carry out an online in access of your phone. You'll be able to get results straight away from our system. You will get to know how your land is standing.
Kakabalo mo maybe no kan chulo tutumia pare bang do ite ring want to system ginawa no ponyi kere chani ini chulo ka tutumia pa bodgamente but you are jamu keneti mo komi yodi neno kitalo ni tikere kita nena ko bi ngato nyo donyi ye nyo gamolon nyo ngo.
We have 2 entrances. We have the web app itself.
So kaima ho chingu tie app ame wan ko be woni I wot woni ye gino loni app store ka pe app store wo Google Play on your app store.
Earlier today, Papa, we are so sorry about that. We were trying to fix our app, but apparently it's working. We've fixed it. So let's go to our Google Play Store or Apple Store.
What gina ko be wono Google Play in your app store.
Are we together?
Coba jawab on yang dua borakan. Okay. Ya. Inu wono Google Play Store. Unyoni App Store. Inu wono mo. Tim nga. Nani data ti chimi ba. Ka data pe inu. Okay. Kind of work no in your Google Play Store and your App Store.
Okay, what we are going to do, I'm going to take you through. After me taking you through, or after me teaching, I'll help you out. And at the end, I'll be reading some 2 numbers. You can contact those numbers. They will be helping you out. Is it okay?
Better? Mahabari chani and poetie. Irom word bore. Eroti numbers are ria na miyu. An pa me yo nama na pia na tika na koma. Nama no wini goyo. Ente ko bingwa mere team. Kape ma hachawani.
For now, let me teach you how to use it.
Okay. What on you?
Okay. We go to our Google Play Store. We download. We are going to type in UGNLIS. UGNLIS.
What is such? Ginora ti round ne about giving. It is searching good work at UGNLIS, Uganda Lands Information System. UGNLIS na la yi sa. Okay, I'll tell you what more. And UGNLIS NLIS. Yini searching portal wate bino ko a child coat of arm. Tebino. Yes.
I continue. Okay. After you downloading our app, it will go straight on your phone.
Kai downloading, unyo no UGNLIS.
It will download.
Downloading. It will download
itself.
It
will download.
Abinu kom kaine chimi. Ini yabinu ngorotikano. UGNLIS.
If at all you're seeing that you're having a problem of that app going onto your phone, I will advise you to update your phone.
Tichi muke na meromo jemo ko. Mere updating. Pole we updating App Store ke de Google Play. Te ye ka pe abinu ke tichi muke ne ba tekino. Mweshi mu mod ba tractor. Muzeno chate mugina be. Kai romo cho yo ping nang cho. Chani moro pore ko etetem.
I proceed?
Yes.
Okay, after downloading, we shall create an account with us. Using this app, you're supposed to be having an account with us. It's like going to the bank. You have to open up an account, right? So what do we follow and what do we need? We have 2 options. We have the mobile option and the email option. But I'll advise you to use the mobile option.
Tina no Nikado downloading one wo yab account kita me yab kede banki. Ami option ne email kede mobile telephone number ni. Eto pol wai kan pol la jo 90% you kede chim telephone number pe email. So umi yotame ti you kede na me chimu. Me yab account. Ena ke lokum jami no dushu kita entia kobukeni. Na machela apenyu chim.
If I told you've decided to go with the mobile option, you will fill in your mobile number, either MTN or Airtel.
So kakana mechim, indicate number mechim. Starts with 256?
No, the country code number, it is already there.
So country code, Tiocho Koni plus 256. Pede med ginorie. Wori line number yo. Inu ngutio dong apyo nama mechim telephone contact. Techo yo chake 07 gina iningeo.
So codes will be sent on your phone, like usual messages. It depends to the number you've used.
Code dollar bini chimi. Mach loki tia lohere do jereta. Mach wani tia yelwa. You can know about me one. Battery. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Codes will be sent, like normal messages. So you go to your messages, you pick the 5 codes they've sent. Ignore the 4 sender, because also you'll be seeing the 4 numbers, but that is the sender. You go inside to that sender and you read those 5 codes they've sent. So those are the codes you're going to get, and you put into the other space they've provided for you.
Tiko doro chwalo boro kanu atinu huta beach. Kodo eno kaimi to neno. Ichimi no idiere tigi noro lo about dilo. Ko idi kong apuru enyuko ite woti message inu ngo kodo eno. Ka inu kodo wori UGNICD ite ketie. Tia beach piangwen.
The next step, I'll advise you to work with your national ID, because here you're going to create a strong password. Why have I told you to use your national ID? Normally, creating a strong password, I advise people to use their names, the names you're having on your national ID, because you can't forget them. So I'll advise you to use your name, also your telephone number, like creating a password. But if at all you're good at remembering like your passwords, you can create your own password you feel like using.
Okay. Ti password dame akobinini keri. Password ente akwani ti kere ni on your telephone number ni ti ginu luoni username. Chimi dong ti kuno password meri keri. Ento ka we tek romo keto password dor ki ken ameyini ngeo. Uniaere. Aya, national ID, ti kanu ujoin identification. Ti ukeru kanu passport, kede ID, kede national ID ni. Kamegi cho chake CM, te cho jamino dushu. Omi tu ket gina tek, ame akuoma peramo hacking nyome don ya bongechi. Kaini daho. National ID ni chake kede CF, cho kanu in full.
After creating the password, you will fill in your personal details. Those are your names, your date of birth. Also, you will find a provision of the NIN number. If I told you, gentlemen, you start with a CM, then us ladies, CF. So you have to fill in the provision of the NIN number. Then they will send you a message clarifying that you've already gotten an account with us.
Okay. Gina nena kubi wudo ko enu pera noyo. Ka penyu nyi, penyu na me chimi, penyu namba me national ID ni amo luoni nin. Eto an yang anadame computer ni tigi na chiella jo luor total. Jo luor kom screen ne computer ni nena. Kadi gina memi ren clicking ikanu. En pa nena wangi chime chi. Eta ako ini bere chunyu tek. Gindi yot oro. Bacha mo matoke da bera yot. Eto ka pe niang. Pora ko bi gam namba sargana mi kere bin bor wakane wano konyu.
So after creating the account with us, you go straight, put in your phone number, even the password you've created this site. You will be able to enter into our system. That system of ours, it has 4 services. And those services, we have the search letter, the parcel search, the transaction, or even land valuation. But before explaining how all the services work, I'm going to first direct you or first take you through how we get money from our phone to our portal account, because all these services you're supposed to pay for them. We charge 10,000. Each transaction that you carry out, we charge 10,000. But that money does not come to us. It goes straight to URA. That's why when you're making payments, they will send you a PRN number. That PRN number, in case your money have not reflected on the portal account, when you call us or when you send a message to us, we shall ask you your PRN number, or we shall ask you to screenshot your PRN number and you send, and we check with the PRN number to be assured that you've already paid the money, but money has not just reflected onto your account.
Okay, ginadong wanu ponyukere uberu me ketu chenne chimi unua yai mobile money ni make it system wani ameka ini timu search ginoke kaini metu tija mangwen apo pata mangune timuno ame uponyukere eta mani poru ponyukere me kwa nyuchene mobile money ni dogi chimi we kade timu tichichani ene neno ni chene tie ekate kwa nyali papacha kai churo akeligino luoni PRN number oberu payment registration number ame kado binu bori teni cholo eduka system poti akobi yin pe cholo ngeni cholo numbers tia wanu mi tigino luoni screenshot iromo timo screenshot te chwalo borwa wanu to neno ni cholo to neni me be reflected the system we hemede tichanyim.
So when you look at the interface of the portal itself, there is a word down below your account. So you will go to your account, it will take you straight to buy credits. The moment you go to your account, it will take you straight to buy credits. Buy credits, we have different options. We have from 10,000 to a different amount. But remember, I've told you, each transaction you're going to carry out, we charge 10,000. However much you're having 10 titles and you want to carry out 5 titles or 10 searches, for us, you're supposed to work onto one title at a time. You can't put in all the 5 titles, no. You're supposed to move with one by one. Then you get results. So it's up to you either to put in 10,000 or 50,000. As long as you put in any amount, your money will reflect. In case you put in 50,000 and you carry out one search, we shall deduct the 10,000 and the 40,000 will remain. So after putting in the amount, you also fill in the details of the email, also the phone number that you're going to use to get money from. Here we shall need a TIN number. So all in all, working with us, why I'm saying this with us, because this is our system. Working with our system, you're supposed to be having an active TIN number, also your NIN number when you're opening up this portal or this account. This TIN number, you'll be using it each and every time you're uploading money onto your portal account. It depends. You may choose your sons or daughters or your neighbors as long as they're okay with it, but as long as that TIN is active. Because before even proceeding with the payments, we first check the TIN number whether it is active. Is it okay?
Mimi betke gino luoni TIN. TIN beru gina kubi kere URA tax identification number kape pay chulo wanu kobani. So me chulo yini wori gino luoni interface kai yabo api word pingin wongano luoni buy credit. Kai me tutimo search a beach nueni wilo turu igama turumia piera beach. Kai me timachiel loading tutumia pa. So tido ewi chili andia many loading ye.
So after all that, you've uploaded money onto your portal, you go straight to our services. Let me start with the transaction service. Transaction service, what do we need here? We only need the transaction number. How do we get the transaction number? The moment you step in here in our office and you submit in your title, let me say for transfer, they're supposed to give you a transaction number. That transaction number will help you to be tracking your what? Your title. So This transaction number, in case you're home and you're going to use your portal, it's what you use, because it's the only number we need. It's what you use, and you get to know whether the title is ready for the pick or it's not ready. Still, it will show you, or it will indicate the office where your title is stuck or still being worked on. Then coming here, they tell you today, you know what, come back tomorrow. Again, you come back tomorrow, it's not ready. So we are trying to cut all those movements. So you can be monitoring your titles under transactions with the help of the transaction number.
So enter koni na machero bogin wani transaction service. Transaction service yani ni wote gino chone transaction. Iteke to gino loni transaction number. Polu ka kelo file ka ni bolu file ite worko. Ko gino loni transaction number. Ameti acknowledgement form. Ame intake clerk wani me signing te mi. Transaction number wacha ke the LIR 000 at the moment. Dima kati to hapola woti 00. So me nani dokere. Kado intiti musach itaitoli kwena tiye wekwa tuwe tiana kena ti officers mogo unyokai di surveyors ameko benia tichiti nyimla no officer tichiti bot physical planner etu norang pero tigi noro utunu bodano nasha etu kain entering that transaction number te submitting ako be officer mena me tichiti nyime ameka de bino kai woro direct bore ami to surveyor ami to physical planner no telo kani goba mo bolo joni giriti nyimga di kunpetie tindongo ugik.
Let me go to the parcel search. Here, this service, for it will help you to know the demarcation of your land, the map of your land. So we shall be coming into this service of parcel search. Parcel search, mostly it's being used by the surveyors, but I believe also some of us, we might want to know the map of our land. So you might use this service. And this service, we only need to know our plot numbers, block numbers, sub-count where your land falls, also the zonal office where your land fall.
Okay. Eno keno bedo parcel search. Muno meneno mapelo wani ininge olobani cha kita tie kere nyo gora nyo bedo square nyo tieni ngo yini is searching mono eto pole wak jati ko bedo surveyors eto ka yinemi to tikere keti waka plot number kunu iteke to block number iteke to district kanyo doholo nyo Lira kunu echahe emzo bedo Lira tukere MZP rio Uganda kan peket mukono nyo wakiso ket Lira eka iteke to sub county ite submitting ena ke lomab melo woni no ka do binu bedo god nyono ngato to lo woni to chiel do survey ko kono en kopte chake kano parcel.
Then we go to the search letter. The search letter here we shall find the owner's name, the encumbrance part, whether the title has a mortgage, has a caveat, any transaction, or anything funny taking place onto that land. It will come under this service, the search letter. It will also show you how big the land is. It will also possess a passport photo of the owner of that land. So how do we conduct a search under search letter? Here, you must to know your plot number, block number, the tenure, like the type of the land you're dealing with, the sub-county, also the zonal office your land falls. But remember, you have to fill in each and everything. Do not leave any space blank. You fill in each and everything, because all of that information is being indicated on our titles. So you'll be able to get a search letter. After conducting this search, after filling in each and everything, you're supposed to generate your search letter there and then. Not after 2 minutes, not after 1 day. Your search letter, you get it there and then. It's you to download it onto your what? Onto your phone. Let me say, in case you've not gotten your results and you're like, won't they take your money, or they've already taken your money? The moment you conduct a search and you don't get results, we don't take your money. We only take your money after you getting the search letter. After you downloading the search letter onto your what? Onto your phone. That's when we take the money. But if at all you don't get results, we don't take your money. Some people might get a message from us telling you to go check with your zonal office. We are not saying that the title is not there, but we are telling you to go check with your zonal office. So when you come here, find out, get the reasons as to why your title is not giving you information on this system. And they try to help you out. They will tell you the reasons as to why, and you can get to solve the problem with the technicians here. In case you've not gotten what I've taken you through, I'm going to read these numbers. These numbers, be free, don't hesitate, call the toll-free number, the WhatsApp, use it, send messages, screenshots, voice notes, we do welcome them. We shall give you answers. And not only the portal, in case you have any related land problem, you've come here, you're seeing they're not giving you results, you can pass through those numbers. I believe we shall give you answers. But first deal with our officers, because these are our first bosses. Then you come to us, you write to us, you call us. I believe we shall help, because we shall be glad also as to help. Is it okay? So let me hope we're having our pens and papers, and I read you the numbers.
Nama no pe kwanye chene mo ka ni chimi. Kare time pe woro. WhatsApp dang en nama no achelo. So cho wunu nama no ping. You are pocho gami bora woti.
Let us start with a toll-free number. That is the customer care number. It works from Monday to Friday, from 8:30 to 5. From Monday to Friday, from 8:30 to 5.
Tiyo ka ichame tichagamente chake cha riona hacha pare chel chake chionki huna cha beach.
It's 08001 00004. It's 08001 00004. That is the toll-free number. There's no need of paying mates. You just call for free.
Mono petio kere time. Eto nge chame tiye weekend and petio.
Then the WhatsApp number. This one for it, let me say it works from Monday to Monday.
Man WhatsApp ti cha moro dushu. Eto pechual cha bishele di war.
This one you send a voice note. You can type a message, or you can send a screenshot. Even the documents you're having issues with, you can send them. They will be in safe hands.
Rama kuchal documenti no, ame kopti yeno. Iramo timongo loni voice recording techualo. Unyo ramo texting. Choya choa ni anati pe haroma techualo. Gena dugu bori yoriot.
It's 076 75 54 235. It's 076 75 54 235. That is our WhatsApp number. That one we don't choose it for calls, but send messages, type messages, voice notes, even screenshots themselves, even the documents you have issues with, you can send them. I believe we shall help, because we shall also be glad they'll be in safe hands. Also, let me introduce you to. Let me also introduce you to something new, because.
Yo me na me wo ti bank me gamo loan ke de title. Bank pe bi mi chienne. Kape gamo search letter borwakan. Search a menyuro agenga meti lobani. Onyongatu waruke to caveat. Caveat ba gina me ka ngatu ti koho. About weru ni ana binu ka ante woke to caveat ko. No ke ruki ginga me pero mati mugino ki ken ni title no eno. Me ario beru loan. Kai ti ke de loan bank. En search a nyutu ko ningo loan ni ti bank roman wela roman ko woti tie hite bino gamo title o miyo bank penyu eteki nen bank neno ka encumbrance nil title not very free umi gina yamito so kaini itimo search poli lubu yo achela sha get block number plot number sub county we pay will Lira emzo iteke to district noti Lira nyodoholo aya kairo ikero inite submitting ena ke research letter eto ka ke screen ni penge ni dong en search letter dong ti dong bote ba ti gino luoni generate wodo he good kan luoni generate ka generating in iteke lo borwa kan unyo roma nang chwale whatsapp bon ngata meti ati yutikino peno wa ti subera yot pien kaini binu kanene kainde chwalo kakarikin binu kan itengwe si bank wo chulo dog duogo tekini kele wagin chai whatsapp pia wanu neno nye chwalo ko be a bana dani tia be etu kai nuoni dang gamente pa kwa nyuchenne ni ikwanye kama me generating search letter ni no enu ka uti tima pete tima be mi bin boraka no chen ni kuja no po kwanyo tija mo kana wa search letter pe binu chelle obero title lo binu yihen tebe title lo yi kan chake 2017 bina chil eni entebe tiginu loni backlog ame mer wando running kan me migrating kwanye kucha ke lokan so e chao kene kene ni po binu pe ko bilo ni ngato kwalo ko yin bin kan wano len backlog to running eka jamite wot kakae.
Also, let me introduce you to something new that
Mandong ena nyen ba eda petek
we have a ministry chat booth that you can find it on our web interface, the website interface. I'm going to read you the link, but this chat booth, in case you want to know anything related to land, you want to know about our ministry, you can go straight, type in the question you wanted to ask us. They'll be giving you feedback. It will be giving you answers there and then. So it is interesting. You can keep on chatting with this. Believe me, you will get to know more concerning land using that ministry chat booth. So you can. Is it okay for me to read?
Your number ni ube the website me Ministry of Lands. Ame ginuki kanado emito. Ame bino kan uloni chat box. Ini neno ite choyo. Tunu kaya chiyo kihu. Kaya ni wori chatbot. Ibera react ba dita nentia loke worko. So chat box ni wakan kwano nama mere website wa. Uchahay ginulwani www. Oh, you are using HTTPS?
No, www.
mulhood.mulhood.mlhud. www.
Yes.
mlhud.
Dot. Geo.
No, small.
No small letter.
Small letter.
Dot. Geo. Dot. ug.
.go.ug.government.uganda.
So it's supposed to be www.mulhood.mlhud.ug, then slash chat, the word chat.
Slat. Gera riach. Take your any chat.
The word chat.
Chat.
So that is
CHAT. Ento. Chima joke nekelo default. HTTPS. IFA text transfer protocol. Peti kerekano. TWWW.
Make the use of that link. It is really nice. It will help. It will backbite each and everything about land.
Teach kere yot akonyu.
And another thing before I leave, I'll ask you people, in case you have any issue that is burning, even we shall give you reasons to that questions, if at all they really need results. But just know we are happy to be here as a squad, like we came with our boss to help you, to listen to you. Feel free to raise each and everything, having today, we shall be able to answer you people. In case you have any problem with a phone, please, I'm seated aside. I'll be happy to help. My name is Namudu Sarah, working with National Land Information Center and the Ministry of Lands and Urban Development. Thank you.
Okay, and ukobani, we don't go big kakan, pian program ora appear attack dang awan maru tia bina mobile program giki, amedo ubedu when you loki boru. Eten ukobi number yama mi wuno. Ti wunu kede yora bear, ichama okay kameno ginoro petian yangi. So, chama no ginoro petian yangi, ti uke number sariono, biko nyu tutual. Eto wanu tie, meko nyu, ichama okay ken, kagino petian yangu, wekdo weki ukare, uwode agenda kenne, mea giki, eta pire tek, amama chama ora no nok. Mono presentation of petitions or concerns from the public. Weka doha chunka karisha. Todong chako kwa nyijo. Tiana lilit. Ngata binu godi. Okay. The floor is open. Joti kan di department. Kwacha kwanyo muzee bin. It's on now, Muse. Lohi, Tikom on. Gamani.
Thank you. Buona PS. I once met you in Gulu when you had the regional meeting, I think last year. I have about 3 concerns, and some may not be seen as concern, but the first one is that the number of deferred cases that we take back to area land committee, that is required training the area land committee, so we improve the output. I haven't heard about this being rolled out. This is affecting disposal of the applications that we receive. PCOs. So I request you to address this. Secondly, there is in Dokulo we had the opportunity to work with a project of GIZ. This project, I must say, has been very, very useful. We have disposed of over 3,000 applications, which we have granted. But since this was a project, the GIZ project period ran out, and a number of applications from the community, the applicants, were not processed to the latter. By the time of the closure of the project, a number of files, some of them, as my colleagues had said earlier, we had deferred them because there were many mistakes. Now, we wonder who is going to complete this part. having the project closed. I wonder whether you are in a position to finance some of these uncompleted processes. Or you are able to renegotiate for us the GIZ to come back. Thirdly, Mr. PS, I'm re-echoing what the district chairman, district land board Lira had echoed about the facilitation of the district land board. The facilitation, I must say, is too meager, and we may be hanged for nothing. Mr. PS, you are supposed to take care of the district land board. We are like isolated, we are like, we look bad in the face of our own colleagues, I mean, ourselves. Because when we're in the district, we hear other boards and commissions have got a notch in their allowances. For example, the Public Account Committee, the District Service Committee, and Procurement, if I may say so. We wonder why the District Land Board have not come in your heart to save it from the face, and yet it's doing a frontline work for you. Thank you.
The permanent secretary and your staff, and the protocol as established earlier. Patrick Abal is my name. I'm a head of one of the clans in Lango, and in the office of His Highness, I'm the Minister for Works, Physical Planning, and Technical Services. I welcome you to Lira. I thank you first because of the EMZO to Lango. Before this EMZO, it was very, very difficult to travel all the way up to Entebbe and back. But the ministry thought it wise, and this EMZO has served Lango so well. I thank you for that decision. Second, I have a concern. It's about the police as a department and land that is under local government. This matter has not surfaced anywhere, but it's a big, big, big issue here. Previously, we had local administration police. Somewhere they were merged with the central police into one unit. But the issue here in Lira and in Lango maybe is that wherever local administration was residing, the police have gone forcefully and claimed that all that property belongs to police. Now, I was once a servant in the local government. We knew local administration as a tenant and a staff in the local government, in the sub-counties. How come when a tenant is moving out, he becomes the landlord and he goes with such a critical property such as land? I think this needs some explanation. My understanding is that police, local administration were merged with police. They went with their uniform, with their batons, with their rifles and joined Central Police. But whatever was local government property remained there. There has been a big issue and a big fight here. And what is more concerning is that this is a position apparently only in Lango. No other districts, no other regions have police claim the property which was of local government. I think we need clarification here. And on that note, I want to relate a personal story. In 2017, Lira District Local Government allocated to me a plot number 1, Yosamodu Road. As I was moving around trying to develop it as per the guidelines, police moved in forcefully and erected their security camera tower on that plot. I tried to intervene there and then, but the situation was almost like Kawempe. So I withdrew with the advice of some seniors, please, let's follow this another way. So from that point, I've failed to proceed with my allocation. When I had a proper allocation and everything, I am stuck. How do I get around this monster, the Uganda police? This is in the area of former Gombola Lira. So the issue I want the ministry to handle, and recently the state minister for lands was here on this very point. I think he made some statement. I thought that the ministry should clarify as to how police come in and how we get service from the board as required. So this is my concern. Thank you.
Yeah, behind.
Thank you very much. All protocol observed. I am chairperson of Kola District Land Board, Daniel Evans Lodge. I'm only here to appreciate that you actually organized this function to allow us air our concern and talk about the land sector. I am only here to appreciate that fact. 2, I'm also here to share my experience for the years that I've been a chairperson of District Land Board. Besides working at the board, I have indicated that I also practice, and I also teach at the bar course. I teach land law and related courses. One of the experiences we have had as Kola District Land Board is what he has mentioned, the issue of capacity building. I want to share my experience with them. When I entered office, I realized that most of the area land committee did not know what to do. And then there was a lot of middlemen in between the board and the area land committee. So what we decided to do as a board is actually to move in every sub-county. Every sitting we sit in each sub-county. And before we go there, we notify the community like you've done now. Say the board is sitting at the sub-county to actually consider the files maybe from Bala sub-county. We have been to Akalo. We have been to Aboke sub-county, Aboke Town Council. So when we go there, we sensitize them on what we need in a file. There are things that as a board we developed as a practice, which was actually not part of the rules that in the act. Things like when you're inspecting your land, the female area land committee must sign. Even if the quorum is 3, we insist that the third person must be a female area land committee. We insist that he must have paid, and the payment, you must have a proof of receipt from IRAS and so many other things. Then tree planting and so on. Those are some of the innovations we brought. But we discussed with every area land committee in that place what you're supposed to do. This notice you're supposed to give. So we use that opportunity as capacity building, because if we had waited for the ministers to come, or for the district to actually allocate fund for orientation of the area land committee, would not work. Many complex applications, some of them by non-citizens, some of them by companies. We guide them. We tell them, you see, if it's a company. So all these things you can only explain to the area land committee when you sit at the grassroots. Do not sit at the district. Move from sub-emphasized, because we have a lot of land which is occupied by water. It's one of the most blessed districts. We instant and plant trees. Not the entire land should actually be developed on what you've requested. So that has been our experience. Now, coming to our bit of disappointment, we have somehow those government agencies have shied away from us. On the face of it, we know outside that, you see, we know government has an interest. So, as a ministry, talk to your sister ministries that if the title is given out, you come back and complain. But we are supposed to act independently. As a lawyer, I know there's no dispute. What do you expect us to do? Do we act out of facts that are not there? You open us up for judicial review. So basically, was initially mentioned about the issue of resources. I know our resources can emphasize this. The CCOs that we are issuing out, even if the channel is handled by the Secretary District Land Board, give us an opportunity to step forward in your software system. I believe that CCOs can actually be accommodated. It will be very, very important, and will help our people. Thank you.
I only want to raise two concerns. One, of recent illegal and fraudulent title being printed for Civil Aviation Authority in Anai. And yet, this is being processed not in Lira, but being processed in Teve. And it has gone beyond the gazetted area, which was gazetted way back in 1968. Worst of all, it has crossed the main road and so many other issues. And the title has been printed on existing title. Quite a good number of people here have come for the same issue. Can I see the people who have come for issue of Anai? So many other people should have come, and I think they're on the way coming. On issues of the title, which has been printed on an existing title, and this is bringing a lot of confusion in our area. That is one. Two, there is some issue which is happening in Lira City, especially City Land Board. And I wanted to get some clarity from you where there is some money being paid for physical planning. I wanted to inquire whether within the law, because when the explanations were being made, those payments, I didn't hear some money which is meant to be paid for physical planning. Because I only see people are paying for physical planning about 50 to 60,000. I don't know whether that money is allowed by law. And three, we have always got concern about facilitation to Land Committee. Sometimes, these people are not being facilitated by government, but they're facilitated by individuals. And somehow, they tend to go exorbitant to some people on looking on your eyes. I want to know really if at all the payment, the facilitation to these people can be really regulated by either the local government or the ministry can come in to regulate the payment to facilitate Land Committee. Otherwise, it's one of the reasons why people are not processing their title, because facilitation somehow is so exorbitant. I think let me put it to other members. Thank you.
Next.
Apoyo ono duchu ana lokke de leblan
Don ka ngato ti buria me pengeo lebla yinti monkede. Permanent Secretary ujoli Lira kan udonga me ti ti nyima kan ni anabedo Alfred Adeka mwakana ti Piera Biro Wia Beach anabedo Ojuina village Kishope ame amanti te Paris me odormit a winyu kopa chairman me city ukobutin ni kanga tori hochaho processing land nero ko menungo title pedok twero chako dok ni achiel don kubu ikakwenda me onu tiye don anna chungi karo ken na ti peha jokene ana nu peha dung tutwal nakaman Petro nungo title la Papa Rameti kan a choho imwa hatutu mia rio apara chiel deep plan now binu duogo entebe a bear ento piko perro ameti lao kan ute chupu nebana tetere kotu pidu pimwaka boro inge chene renungo dongi mapa cha balero peye ento pero tigi keni yo ame wurutua autemi yo savea ame oluoni pitman digmat tepinu medong opening the boundary nang te opening the boundary ento gina medoka nene ye tunga pasona chao nori chakere na madek tuni ya bero ento ena opening ke the dog preliminary o mapa ena mi obora te loko ni chakere na mang angwen na ke na maboro ame pun mi ogire 5 plots Dung en inino nasha ana kop nang kana ler man worobot head of surveyor in the night could be any 12 year could teacher dushu tegamo 600,000 bora amane karani an chahara nagare bedong machang masha office ginang unu chegu ko ana mana chigito ina no koma tia miela amiti a securing land tiutina na a tiutina paraboro idilera kan tinia dimaya doko street children kapea a securing that land perge pemano ke ken doko teko ni tuma tiube ikulu free all land kadibe ikulu don wundo ngana do miringeu ka free all pepe ikulu ado ke kanu ataberu yelle ballu chente ainge chene doko teme ya maporo amedungu ungolo yitungo ko ana ta kubi tungu dong ja peparo ento ena me odongi dong miro mi title lere naga tin pero mi title lere miro da tim ngo mane nen peha metia do douala Lira kan kayina chano nyono wi dong atwalo mito bit nyono wi nyona Jamen atikan where mi wuni ngeu Nindua partial matun mi rio partial
Mr. Piesa Muse is saying his name is Adeka Alfred from Ojuina Division Kichope
village
I'm going to forget. What? Pass, you're doing it? Thank you very much.
Now, Papa Nakan. Tieni mwa tutumia rioa para chiel. Idwe ma bichiel. Deep plan na bino duogo entebe. Nanga ber. Bidu te chia khair goba. Ikara do pidutum. Deep plan no kene Dr. Pello itutumia rioa para bichiel. Akondo nga wore nyim. After coming opening the boundary. Ote opening the boundary. Aya ye boundary no. Tenungi mano. Plotarik chakere na madek tuni yabero. Enda mando kote lakoko angwen tuni yaboro. Mega John Natural Resource, Nema, Peu mi ubora teratir, ento an binukela, tenungimano tia nyutu, amedong city tie, amenang tie, ipapara me city. Kede chende amenang risita tia cholo bo digimat. Donc kan. Adi yetina bino kan. Tinying yo a pera bino kan a wur ma ine ndo a para bera. Me a win ni meeting itie. A wur a me yung ngechere yo juina division. Bon meya. Do ate wood. I yed kasha. Gina me o mea eni ene. Ni go chim but Gloria Savea. Nama merti not a biro, a chel, a bichel, a biro, a beach, a chel. Don't take a biman mira, go chim, but Ambrose, physical planner. Nama merti a biro, not a biro, a bora, a rio, a bichel, and when a bichel, a boro, a deck. Tido you better go ya una man pingo. Kangata mitulovanado, bin wood gama.
Okay. Next. Mujay, thank you very much. Your question will be answered. Malang.
With due respect, I'd like to thank the organizers of this dialogue. We think this is one of the central factors that we should have already started even last year. But I think we are not yet too late. I'm only disappointed that we are very few in the room. I'm a lady, I should not have spoken because there and I think in this land only men can talk about this. But as a woman, I've been looking after children, and I feel that sometimes I want to own land. And when I own land, I want it to be in my names. But when I enter my house, someone starts doubting me. This pains me a lot. When I start doing something in my compound, like a small business, then someone starts questioning me. So these are central factors in these people. And then there are people who are married and then they fall out of their homes and they're on the street out there. They have children they have to take care of. So where do these women fall? Are they still in this land, and who is going to defend them? This is about rights. I feel a lot of pain. Okay, leave alone the children on the street. There are people who give their plots of land for business, like for a school, for example. And then later on, the government says that school is actually mine. These are the central issues. Look here, where will I go? I can't go back to the village. I'm not used to the village. And if I go back to the village, this kind of confusion that this last speaker was talking about, heavy documentation. Look at me. I have some old pieces of hair on my head. What about those who now cannot see? What is this kind of pain in this room? Let us correct this. There is some kind of justice we can still do. It's not about tribe, it's not about race, but it's about a sense of belonging. We talked about an ID. If I have a national ID and I go and put my name and the name of my child on that kind of piece of land, whose land is that? Is it because of the ID, or is it because someone else paid for the land? These are the central issues. Let's look at the issues of identity and look at how it's affecting people. If someone paid for that land 6 years ago, and then after 3 years ago, someone went in the machine, and because of their digital academics, they just twisted everything, and they made that homeless. What is that kind of situation? Anyway, we would go on and on, but I told you I'm just a lady. So there are a lot of issues. If someone would have some time, I would have done more. This is not my occasion. Thank you very much. Mr. P.S., I saw you almost stop to speak, and I was with you. I was so worried whether you are still in your office or you have just left. Please keep stepping out of your office and go deep down there. Don't just hang in your office, otherwise you lose your job. Thank you very much, for God and my country.
Thank you, Mama. Okay, rain is coming, but we have the tent. Let's first answer all the questions raised, then we can move forward. No. Let's answer all these questions. We shall go back to Muse next.
Thank you. Where is Abibi? Wilfred, where are you? Now, I think this is the file that you brought in 20 what? In 2017. The document is still there. They have printed for me what came out of the system. It is exactly the same, but I think in between you lost the contact of coming to find out what you had to do. Actually, can who physical planner where? Somebody come and explain what this gentleman has to do. He goes and he does what he has, and he brings back the file.
Thank you so much. Someone asked, why do they pay 50 to 60,000?
Everything is on fire, but I think he said he is lacking physical planning. These are documents from the system. What is missing here? Let's just find out what is missing. Someone will tell you what is missing. I thought it was you.
Thank you so much. From these documents, I think fiscal planning form 1, that's application for development approval, is missing, and also PPA form 3, that's notification of approval. In any case, is an extract of the minutes. So the ministry could not go ahead and process this title.
So if we give him this photocopy, can he get those 2 documents?
Yeah, if the applicant is able to provide those documents, and they are got from the city. If the land is within the city, if the land is within the city, you process it from the city fiscal planning committee. If it's within the district, it's the district fiscal planning committee that will issue you the documents.
Mr. Big is all that. For him, you can see the this is what is printed from the system. And this is the physical file which he brought with everything. So what is missing on Muse's documents is he needs to go to get that physical planning form what? Form 1. Fill, submit to physical planning committee, they do what they have to do, approvals, and then you bring it back. But you use this photocopy since it was approved. Eh? We have taken back this one. The original, we keep documents. That's why I tell you. So we still have your file here. It's not lost. It is not changed. It is not tampered with.
The land is in Oyam, so you go to the District Fiscal Planning Committee, Oyam.
The next question, the next issue.
I think one person asked about the 50,000. At the Ministry of Lands, we don't receive any money. The only mandatory fee is the one we pay to URA. But I'd want to confirm if the 50,000 is paid at the ministry or at the city. He didn't specify. 59,000 to the city. So I think, okay. So I think the right person of the city would be able to answer that.
No, that is okay. We have answered. It is what? 59. We don't have time and when it's coming. So, yes, Mzee.
Yeah. Poyo matek kamita kop kirilembe pacho.
Many are the answer.
Nyao do tomo gwala toshon. Aduong. PS binuni. Okelo dan kon. Kuyo da chunya. Ati ko ba dek. An kiri jona miya dek kipi dek ariyo. Atero Lira district local government ikot piko pelobo. Udah makapa. Aya awuro Entebbe memo yo pin nama me land title pe anuo. Ame Lira district local government mirpet kede. Attorney General Lubini Kota. Attorney General Ongwecha. Piranu ginupe buyuping unuotie. Kopa koboni obedo kopa teni. Ame RCC gole dang eno bedo ngeo. Iyi kopa me atero ke Lira district court government kwa. Meme yubulobo ekas mia big. Make it a factory. Igole moro. Atul sam meya moro. Dr. Cheng warnakatura. Aye. En aye ni atai community district chobalo mechwali court we kon ngeni uti uporo kop. Mano kilo tuan pero kilo tuer chun miodang ya peyum. Chairman ame oleo ka chairman na chona ria teri court. Ame oloni okelo reg. Te binu kile lach kore. Te ya uromo joe Kampala binu pito gweng. Abo ngecha kot. Dai kopara tia kobuni kota doktini ndo angwen medu me angwen. Edo kelo reg do omo joe Kampala. Opiro gweng doko. Dang tia kobuni enuo land title. Land title do enuo gwene. Omia binu kan achara yini kobuni. Ibinu na enokobi kom koko me lobo. Kabinu unye ni okelo reg no land title no ikwene. Nga omie. Man corona, ame ana katu kede. Pora moro pe. Eto ana bina ye. Koti ya wura nyimo kwere choje bola ko ikot. Dami di luake la unge. Tini pe obedo bala. Obedo bala taikom. Mebu you ping. Koti ya word endia pito gweng. Kope a giki. Ochwala waje nere. Wuru puru chima ping. To yena me apiro eka sapa kiri jona. Amedang koperti kot. Piendong tia tera achonyo. An pinge yo chik. Pe amako lot pe alwenyo. Na ichawa ni jo ametia pur. Amedong tiu pur. Kelang dang nye. Chadena ini kola inu pet. An pa kwero mi yodo bendo kot pingo tia waranyin. Kele rekia omo. Dokyo matai. Do wate kao biume yo kilo reg lenta iton. Anu mira muj balot kot. Yang di anu wang kot. Lenta iton e rom nu ni kota da jawe.
Okay, I think what we can do.
Mzee, kede ko. Monye no panu ngolanta iton. Yinke wanu bi kede ko junction, kede ko ni
Opa, apoyo.
But then also, I think we need somebody from the petition office to help mediate these people. I don't know where.
But they're already in court.
Require mediation. So it should be good if they get an independent person to bring them together and mediate. Next question.
Yes, I'm here. All protocol observed.
There is another one here. There is another question. What was the question? Digging map.
Kini binu did plan or here in Tebe. So document a pekan, ubedu document, marriage document, land registration. I'm obedu forms and then the job one can. I made your co buduti your title. Kel document issue, the chat processing title. Okay, all protocol observed. My name is Ahmad Nawar. Mine is just a budding issue.
Now, I think